Sonik Gemz podcast. We back in the building. We're gonna start off with the locks on this new shit. It's called Gave It to Him. Y'all ready? Shout out to the locks.
This beat hard.
If you don't got this new locks record, you're doing something wrong with your life. Let me let you know.
They could be asleep.
Telling you right now.
Let's get it, man. I just listen to new music to work out in.
I'm telling you, this
That's
is workout
it.
music.
Yeah.
This is shit. When you doing 10 pounds or over, this is the shit you need to
That's
listen
what I'm
to.
doing. 10 pounds or over. Yeah, you got to get it. My nigga, I was up to a 3X. I'm now to an extra large. I'm seeing the gains. I'm just walking around with my shirt off,
Flexing.
flexing.
Flexing on niggas.
You want me to open that water bottle for you, babe?
Yeah, man. Sonik Gemz podcast. We back in the building, man. We almost here. All the fellas are almost here. Flock, Demon Low, Mr. Live and Direct, Live and Effect will be here in a little bit. But we H1 SwimCon is in the building for a day.
What up? What up?
Areto Revol.
Yes, sir. Only pain.
Only Pain, son. Dami D is in the building. Sleep hard.
Sleep hard.
Sleep hard, yo. We are back in another glorious week in 2020, which has inevitably been one of the shittiest years I've
Throw
ever
the
seen.
year away.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost over, right? We don't got that much time left.
Man,
before the year.
anything could happen.
Please don't say that.
Throw the shit away.
Please don't say that. You
I'm
know what I
just
mean?
saying.
We'd rather not.
I'm just prepared for it.
Like, I don't want to prepare for any more bullshit.
I'm digging a hole in my backyard right now.
This thing is burying bodies. Not really Facebook. Just, you know what I mean? Just chill.
Nah, I just want to build a, storage unit. Just have
I need
one door.
I think we need a panic room.
Yeah, just one panic room.
We need a fucking panic room.
I don't think black
dog.
people do good in panic rooms.
I was about to say,
though.
what's
Nah.
a panic room?
A room where you panic and
Yeah.
have anxiety.
No,
It'd be a
it's-
room where niggas just go there to stress.
Yeah. Nigga be mad as shit.
They could just go in there.
Oh, I
swing.
forgot to pay the cable bill. Shit!
You know, that's a good question. But before we even get into that, which is a good thing I'm going to ask everyone about. But, first and foremost, shout out to everybody out there that's tuning back in again, Sonik Gemz podcast. We are still live in effect, live and direct. As Mr. Demolo would say, he'll be here in a little bit. Shout out to everybody out there that's, following us on Facebook, on the gram, on Twitter. We're never on Twitter, but we'll be there eventually.
No, we won't.
Everybody on the page.
Twitter's dead like MySpace. I'm never going back.
All right, so all right, so you may not see us on Twitter,
You see one person.
but you might see us on everything else. So don't worry about it. But yeah, so to everybody doing that, follow us on Patreon, Stitcher, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and all that. So you catching new episodes on YouTube. They'll be there at the end of the week, so you guys can check out every new episode that we drop. We're gonna definitely give a RIP to Mr. Chadwick Boseman. Passed away this past week.
Oh, that hurt.
It was a sad
hurt.
moment, man. That shit,
It hurt.
like it was the most unrealistic thing. Like when this shit popped, I was like, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
I mean,
I thought this shit was a goof. I was like, someone's goofing, but I'm like, no one is gonna goof about this nigga.
Yeah, no, but if you watch some of his old, like his last movie he did, he looks sick. Like, did you watch the Netflix movie Five Bloods?
Yeah.
So yeah, he looks sick in that movie.
Yo, that's actually like a that's like a deja vu. Somebody else, who was that? Somebody passed away just like that. They were like, he was looking sick. Eddie Murphy's brother, Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
Charlie
It
Murphy.
was something similar, right?
Yeah.
Like he was he was kind of looking sick.
Yeah.
Right.
But I guess it's like, if they're not saying anything about their health and you
No.
know.
No, because they kept it in tight wraps. He had a tight circle.
Yeah.
So they didn't say too much.
No.
But you can tell. Like I remember I was watching something with Kevin Hart. He was like going through his progression day by it was like 4 or 5 months ago. And you could tell they did a FaceTime scene with him. And you could tell he didn't look healthy.
Yeah.
So when I watched the last movie, the Netflix movie, I'm like, why would they make him lose all this weight? You know, some actors lose weight to play a role. So I'm like, man, he lost hella weight to play this role. Why? But it never dawned on me that he was sick.
No.
So when it hit me, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. But damn.
Yeah, he was only 43 years old, or
Right.
about to be 43.
Right. So they say he was diagnosed when he had this, when he was shooting Black Panther.
Yeah, 2016. It's 4 years, man. That's a lot. And he shot like fucking like 6 movies.
Right. He kept on shooting movies, so.
I mean, I think it's like when you have a sense of, you know, what's like mortality, I guess, you're kind of like, it almost, it like kind of motivates you in a weird way, I think, where it's like, you're like, yo, I gotta, almost like on some Tupac, like you just recording or whatever you do.
Keep
like,
going. Just
yeah,
keep
'cause
going
you're like,
because you don't know when your last movie.
Now,
Yeah.
lift up the microphone. Sorry, just unscrew it so that it can come closer.
But,
to you. Sorry.
But I have a quick question for you guys. So I know some people like, we need to kill or stop producing Black Panther. I don't agree on that. Who do you think we get to replace him?
Nobody.
So you think we?
Well, after I heard his sister's supposed to be.
Well, that's later on in the comic book. Like that's later on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not part 2. Like that's like 3 or 4 Black Panther. So you say just let his sister replace him?
Yeah, just let his sister replace him because there's no way to replace Chadwick. I don't even think people will accept it. The only thing I've heard is a crazy theory where they're like bring back Killmonger and make him good, and then all of us some bullshit like that.
Well, no, I mean he don't come back good. If you watch comic books, he comes back, but he doesn't come back good. I went to the movies the other night, and one actor I think can pull it off is the guy that played in Tenet, Denzel's son.
Oh,
That's what if they're going to replace Chadwick Boseman, you can let him do it. I think people will respond to it. If you haven't watched Tenet, if you like Inception and movies like that, that is an excellent movie to go see. I'm telling you, from the beginning all the way to the end, it's a good movie.
what's his son's name again?
Shit. My wife's gonna kill me because we were just talking
This
about
is
it.
Denzel Washington's actual son?
Yeah, the
Have
actual
you ever
son.
seen Black Klansman? The movie Black Klansman? It's his son. He's played in a lot of different shit. Well, before we even continue, we're just gonna give a moment of silence to Chadwick Boseman and actually a bunch of other people that passed away this week. So we'll just give them a quick moment of silence.
Oh, go ahead.
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Your legacy is gonna live forever and ever and ever. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
obviously,
Yeah, I mean-
you're etched in the minds of Black people, particularly
Right.
forever.
Oh, the actor's name is John David Washington.
John David Washington.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. John David Washington. Yeah, he's a good actor, man.
I was shocked because I remember him from Black Klansman, but I really remember him from Ballers, the HBO show with The Rock.
Mm-hmm. I never watched Ballers.
Oh, it's funny as shit.
Is it good?
It's good.
Is it still on?
No.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I think they're done with it. I think they did like 3 seasons, and that was. I don't know if they're coming back with another season. I don't think so. I think The Rock is just too fucking busy.
Yeah, The Rock is out getting his whole family caught the coronavirus.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah,
I
my
got
whole
it."
family got the coronavirus."
But he's still working out probably 6 a.m.
Yo, that nigga's
eating
healthy
like
as hell.
5,000
Like,
calories and
he's
shit.
good. He's good.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I couldn't lift that 100-pound dumbbell. I got the coronavirus.
My thought process is why they got to tell people that they had it. He could have just not said anything. Like,
well,
what's the point of saying it to the public?
you know his time schedule. It was going to come out anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well be in the front because The Rock is hiding coronavirus.
That's
and
what I
yeah.
think too,
So
yeah.
he might like, let me just tell people, so he'll shut down some of the stuff that he's working on. Like I think the last thing he did, he bought the XFL, and then that's when he had the coronavirus.
He bought the XFL?
He bought it. He bought
The league?
Yeah, the league.
The entire league?
Yeah,
How the fuck you buy a league?
it's The Rock.
This nigga's like, yo, you know what? I'm buying the NBA, nigga.
Yeah.
Which team? The NBA. Nigga. I'm
all
buying
of it.
All of them niggas.
All of it,
All
yeah.
of them. I'm buying
Yeah,
LeBron.
yeah.
I'm buying all of them.
Yeah, they just announced it.
Woo!
He bought the XFL.
God damn.
Yes.
Yeah, he got, well, Rock
Yeah.
has got, he probably worth a couple $100 million.
Right, and he
Shout
put-
out to Tyler Perry, who just turned, he's a billionaire too. Not
Yeah.
a surprise, a
Yeah,
shock there.
he's opened his own airport now. Like he don't have to. He said Hartsfield, just build my own airport. I got enough land out here.
That's a different kind of money.
Yeah, it is.
That's a different kind of money.
It is. It is.
It's like, yo,
Nigga, he bought the whole east side of Atlanta.
yeah,
The whole east side.
He did.
Starting from Highway 166 is his shit.
That's his whole joint.
Yeah, that's his studios. Don't.
That's ridiculous, man. I mean, that's some shit you gotta applaud.
This
Cause
nigga-
it's like,
this
yo,
nigga
how
bought
could
land to
somebody
shoot airport
be?
scenes.
Yeah. This nigga's like, yo, how could you be this? Like, yo, you rich as a motherfucker to be able to do shit like that.
Wearing
like,
a
yo,
dress.
huh?
Wearing a dress.
All right, let me ask you, fellas. Would you? I mean, all right.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Give
To
me
be
the
a
real
billionaire.
talk. To be a billionaire, what? To wear a dress?
Would you wear a dress? To
To play a character?
play a character.
Why not?
You're gonna play whatever the fuck, Miss
Whatever.
Josephine.
Yeah, all right.
And Miss Josephine.
Be my piece.
Yeah.
Listen,
And
my
at the
nigga.
end of it, they're like, after 5 years, you're going to be a billionaire. Would you do it?
My nigga, listen, I know some people be like, oh, they're tearing down manhood and where's your soul? Rich.
As a motherfucker. What about you, Nev? Would you do it?
I mean,
Pete ain't gonna do it.
Nah.
no,
I'll tell you right now, Pete ain't doing
Ain't
it.
gonna do it.
I feel like I just was kind of in my head, like, if you know, people get embarrassed about things they try to hide like that, right?
Right.
So I feel like if you're gonna get paid like $1 billion to do it, why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Right.
I don't know,
I'm telling you right now, a dress,
I don't know if I would though.
Pete ain't doing it. I'm just letting you know right now. Pete ain't gonna do it. He's too much. He's too black. He's that black nigga. I fry bologna before I suck dick. Like, he's that.
Yeah, Peter's definitely too Afrocentric for
Yeah,
that.
he
That
is
nigga's
too.
like, nah, bro.
Nah, give me that bologna with the red rim around it. That's the bologna I eat. I don't eat that new bologna, nigga.
Fuck your bologna.
Give me that shit that's coming to look like a big ass sausage. I want that shit. Don't even cut it. I want no pre-cut bologna.
I want to cut it my goddamn self.
4 days correct.
Be honest.
For a Billy? For a Billy.
That is
Billy.
a lot though.
All right, all right. This is specifically to you.
Cause you know I'll be like, sign me up. Oh, the east side to
What time I gotta be there?
What time of that? Bells and
You're
whistles.
early as hell.
Got them singing old Negro
Billy.
special.
You gotta cut the hair.
For $1 billion, oh.
So this
I
is
mean,
like
$1 billion is, yeah, I'll cut hair for $1 billion.
$1 million.
1 million?
Yeah.
Crazy as fuck. Nigga, I ain't got no hair.
That's why I say this for this nigga.
Hair is
I mean, hey,
overrated.
I was about to say I cut the hair on my balls.
Be smooth as eggs.
No, you ain't tell me nothing. They're like, "Father, you want to cut?" Yep. We even tell you what to cut. Yep.
Cut it out, nigga. So for $1 million, an M.
I mean, yeah, I'm not really like attached to certain things that way.
This is your hair.
I mean, yeah, that's a big deal, but I mean, it's like hair can grow back, like, you know what I mean?
It's a fact. For my shit's gonna grow back fast as fuck for $1
I'm
million.
gonna just like, when I cut it, I'm gonna just have them
Happy
like
shit.
sew it back in.
Yeah, that's exactly
Soon
it.
as I- you
yeah,
know
as
what I
soon as you do it, cut it, like shave it clean, nigga, clean. Clean as a motherfucker. Clean as a bitch. Hell yeah, nigga, just turn it into a fucking front lace, a lace front, nigga. Just
Got that one nigga. Tell him about the gun line, boss.
Yo, I'm telling you, for $1 million, yeah, I mean, I'm coming out. I mean, my hair's not that long, so I'd cut it for $1 million. Yo.
He was overrated.
Yeah, I'd be like,
For bald nigga, it's overrated.
it's overrated, nigga.
It's
My hair
overrated.
and shit.
In my mind, it's overrated.
Yeah, son, for a cool millie. Yeah, I mean, I'd do it for a cool $1 million.
give
If
me
my
a-
hair was as long as yours, though, it'd probably be like it'd be a hard decision, even
is
if it is
hard,
for $1
yeah.
million.
Yeah.
But
Nigga,
it's $1 million.
Give me a
you know
new
what I
car.
mean?
Cut.
Yeah, I mean,
Not one of them Fiestas. Give me like
Yeah.
one of them brand new fucking Chevy Tahoe. Like, bro, have you seen the price for the Chevy Tahoe?
yeah, they're like $70,000, right?
Wow, what the Chevy start? All right, I'm gonna leave Chevy alone.
That what you thought it was gonna be cheaper than that?
Shit, not for those 70.
Shit fully loaded, my nigga. That shit's like
Man,
lit.
That shit better come with a fridge, self-driving. I'll get a Tesla before I do that shit.
That's actually a better car, but the room that you would get in that Chevy Tahoe, I mean, the back could take 20 niggas in the back of that
I don't
car
need
by
all that.
itself.
First of all, I don't need all that shit. Give me a Tesla. My next car gonna be a Tesla. I'm not fucking
I
with y'all.
love a Tesla.
I'm not
man.
fucking with these gas cars no more. I'm not. I'm out.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think about that too, but then it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just never paid attention to it. But how do they like?
I could defeat every isolation make you buy a Tesla right now. Go.
No, I mean, like, where do they? How do you get your charge for the car? Like, where
At
you go?
home, you charge it up in the port, or you can buy a smart charge for your house.
Can you have like a portable one that you bring with you?
You don't need to. You don't do. How many miles do you think you do per day driving?
Oh yeah, I mean, like if it's local, like per day, then
No, just how many miles you think you do in your car just
Right.
on a busy day? How many miles you think you do?
12 at the most, maybe.
No, miles total.
Oh, total.
Yeah, total.
Like 24 then.
24 miles.
Yeah, if I was going to work, like if I
I'm
was
just talking. I'm
going to
talking
work,
about like a full day. Like you actually drove 8 a.m. to midnight. How many miles you think you do on just a busy fucking day? Like you got a whole bunch of errands to do.
But my question is like, let's say if you want to drive to Florida, like how long is it gonna last you?
Well, first you get over 500 to 600 miles per charge, and you can charge at a supercharge station, and it'll take 30 minutes to charge back up.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty dope. I mean,
Yeah.
that can't
500 or
front.
600
Miles,
miles.
right.
That means you can drive to Miami in like one sitting. Like you're never stopping your car
You don't have
Right.
to get stopped for gas
at
That's-
all. No,
No.
that's it's electric.
No.
That's actually pretty
But again, the people don't really understand. There's no oil. There's no radiator fluid. So there's no timing belt. None of that shit is in that car. It's one motor.
Yeah, but that also means though, if there's any electrical issues, you're paying an ass load of money.
But it comes with a warranty. You're
That's
talking about
true.
almost 50,000 miles warranty. And if it act up, you take it to the Tesla, they give you another one to run around in. So again, what's stopping you?
$70,000. That's what's stopping me.
I mean,
Not
I
even
don't got
70.
70 grand.
No, 70 is the most expensive one. You can get a 3. The 3 series is 45 grand.
That's true. I don't like the 3 Series.
You're a nigga.
That's true. I gotta be a little fancy.
I mean, that's
I gotta be a
fine.
little
But
com-
again, but all the money you spend on just, all right, just take the money you spend on gas.
Yeah,
and you
gas,
put that into your
maintenance.
own maintenance.
Yeah.
You
It's a
zero
lot of
that
bread.
out.
Yeah, that's true.
So the 70 is what? It's nothing now.
That's true.
Right.
In the long run, it'll last you way longer.
Right.
It'll last you way longer. They're gonna come out with that Tesla truck.
The Cybertruck,
Mm-hmm.
I already put my $100 down.
Did you?
Yes. I'm not fucking with y'all no more.
Yep.
I'm
Y'all hear that, Facebook?
I'm be
you
that
hear
one.
this nigga?
I'm be the one guy at the gas station. Y'all stopping for gas, bitches.
You hear this nigga Facebook? Do y'all hear them
I'm not
on
fucking-
Sonik Gemz World?
Bruh, I'm just tired of all these fucking these American cars, and they just be breaking down over a little shit, and then you go to a mechanic. Oh, we think it's this, so you know we're going to work on,
Cars-
and maybe it's this.
Cars are like phones now. Like your phone
Yeah, they
has
they don't build them to last.
No, they don't
No,
build them to
they
last.
don't, not at all.
They're waiting. It's like you're waiting for the upgrade. They're waiting for the trade-in. They're
Yeah,
like,
they-
you're gonna have to trade
Yeah,
your
you're gonna
car
trade it in.
You have to.
And now they're making it where you have to go to the dealer.
Yeah.
So automatically, as soon as you pull your car, it's $150 just to hook it up to a machine to tell me what's wrong with it.
Yeah. It's a
I got me
fact.
thinking something random. Like, is it illegal to build your own car? Like, if you wanted,
No.
like, if you had the parts for it. Like,
Will I Am does. He did. He built his own car.
Yeah,
from
you
the-
can build your own
from
car.
but,
Black Eyed
but
Peas.
legally, do you have to like get it patented or something like that? Like, if you just wanted to build it because you could, you know what I mean?
Long as it can pass the road stuff, you're good. Ain't got to do emissions.
Yeah, because I think there is some form of regulation that has to happen with it. I'm sure, but I think you're able to do. Like I said, Will I Am built some type of Batmobile looking shit,
Right.
and his shit looks lit. And he's like, I just built my own car.
All right, I just got a text message. Okay, let me do a correction, because the one follower I have, I didn't put down the $100. My wife put down the $100.
Shout out to Mrs. Canoe. We
Tell
already
me.
know it was
She
you.
out here texting me and shit.
Nice.
When did you put $100 in your quote?
Shout out to you, Mrs. Canoe. We know it was you.
We know it was you. It's supposed to be. It was part of my birthday gift. Thank you, wifey. Thank you. Correction.
Ooh, yeah, but I want that Tesla truck. That I'm gonna fuck.
That
with.
Cybertruck. I'm telling you.
That shit gonna be like, how much is that shit gonna be, like 90 grand?
No. The single one engine is 45,000. The double is 60,000.
That's not bad.
And you get over 350 miles on a single engine. I don't do 350 miles in a day.
In a day? You're not gonna go 350.
No, you're not.
350. No,
That's
you're
what
saying
I'm
you're
saying.
not gonna go.
No,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah, no,
Right.
not at all, not at
So
all.
on a single charge, I got 350 miles. Where do I do 350 miles in Atlanta?
Nowhere.
And it's a truck.
That's the beauty.
The truck.
It's the truck.
The only thing I don't like about it, I hope they shave it down so it can actually fit into a garage. If it don't, I don't care. Because
Man, I get
Shit,
that
sit
Tesla
outside.
truck. Y'all niggas gonna be upset everywhere I'm going. I'm just,
nigga, I'll pull up to every gas station. Don't need the gas.
I'm gonna pull up every day playing the same song, nigga. I don't give a fuck what it is. Y'all gonna be sick of me every day. It be the same shit playing. Y'all gonna be mad. Every day is the locks for 5 years. I don't give a fuck. Y'all hearing this every day.
I'm telling you. Man, I'm telling you. I'm not fucking with cars no more. I'm going to give me a Tesla and call me a day. That's it. I'm done.
It's worth it. DJ Vlad said something. He was just like, I've driven every kind of car. He was like, but now that I have a Tesla, because everyone who has a Tesla says the same shit. They're like, once you get a Tesla, you never want to drive another car.
That's it.
And the first time I ever saw one, I was in Cali, and I was in a parking garage and on Hollywood Boulevard, and this lady pulled up in this Tesla, and I was like, what car is this? My boy was like, that's a Tesla. And all I saw was the screen in the front of
the
it.
big ass.
I was like,
big
this
ass
nigga
screen.
got a laptop on the front of her car. Is this illegal?
I'm telling you.
And I was like, this is when she put the shit and she was backing up and you saw it, I was like, yo, I have to get this car.
Telling you,
Like,
man.
oh my Lord. Like Elon Musk, shout out to you, Elon Musk.
Yes. And he making it affordable. That's the scary part.
Yeah. He's actually working on power generators for homes now.
Yeah.
Like no more electricity. Like you
electricity.
can just solar power your whole house.
Right.
I mean,
And
yeah.
if you get money, if you make enough electricity in your home, you can sell it back to Georgia Power. Georgia Power cut you a check.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
But imagine once that really starts to catch on, I mean, what does that mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Nothing.
Georgia Power is like out of business?
No.
No.
You know them niggas are going to try to regulate it in some
Right,
way.
they're gonna try and
Trust me.
But right now, there's not enough people doing it right now. So, I just think it'd be. I mean, it's gonna get to the point where it makes sense to make money. Because I was looking into it too. I mean, the minimum is like $7,000-8,000. So,
Yeah.
what the hell is it? Handyman?
Sorry.
Got Bob the Builder over here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This nigga ran to get a screwdriver. I can't never find a screwdriver in my house.
His thing. I know why. Oh, I know why.
Is it loose?
Yeah.
Where the hell is Marcos at?
He's coming.
Sack of shit.
I can just hold it like, I'm your host.
Guys are getting on my nerves that they keep swerving while you're talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, this is getting on my nerves. Sorry, guys.
No, it's the first live, so we got a couple bumps.
Yeah, in the road and shit.
Yeah. Did we look good? Why nobody? Is somebody chatting? I wish we had somebody that's reading the comments.
I mean, I was,
Michael Brown, shout out to Michael Brown. We got 9 people watching this.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Everybody, welcome to the Sonik Gemz podcast. Bo.
Ricky, we should announce like
Yeah, we
ahead
should
of time.
I know, we just is like the test run.
Right,
We didn't know
right.
how it was gonna be, but now we know for next time. Next time, guys, we're gonna announce it. You guys will be able to join in, and I will have an 800
questions.
number for people to call in.
Oh
So you
shit!
guys will be able to call in and say some shit when you want to talk about it, and we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about some spicy shit next time.
Right.
Spicy.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, we got to jazz it up a little bit. 2020, shit can't go. Well, I don't want to say that. It's 2020, so it is what it is. Let me not say shit. I'm
Not a
sorry.
year away.
Yeah, I don't want to even say that. Sorry, it's 2020.
I don't
So
know. I guess I don't know if I want to be ignorant or just be righteous right now. But we'll see how I feel. Give me a couple more drinks.
about what?
Just anything. Just anything.
Anytime.
Y'all already on my slave shit in the morning. So do my class. Hop,
Woo. Have you guys been to New Orleans?
I have.
I was literally, I just
Don't
was
like
talking
it.
about that the other day. I've never been to New Orleans.
You never
Never?
been? I don't
Would love
like
to.
it.
I've been to New Orleans. The words of 4 Day does not represent Sonik Gemz
No, it's
podcast.
just me. It's just me. No, I mean, I love the city. I just don't. I didn't like it per se because it was just a lot going on at that one time down there, and it's always just feel like, hey, go to New Orleans, get some great food, might get robbed, but at the end of it, you'll have a great time. I mean,
Yeah, New Orleans is like, the thing about New Orleans that's kind of nuts is like, there's a mix of people.
Yes.
It's like uppity people, ratchet ass motherfuckers.
Right all in the middle.
Yeah, right in middle, like middle class. Everyone is just submerged, especially on the strip when you buy Bourbon Street. It's like
Right.
everybody's
everybody's emerged.
everybody's
Everybody's
just there.
hustling. Everybody's selling shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really where I would want to go when it, like when the world's back to normal, like Mardi Gras. You know what I mean? I always want to experience that, but
That's the question. Is the world ever going to get back to normal? That's the question we got to have.
yeah.
I give it the next, I think we're gonna at least 2 or 3 years. We're gonna have to see how this winter goes, and here's what I think. I think people are they're already starting to wanting to go back to normal now. So everything is slowly starting to come into play. After this winter, we'll see if there's gonna be a spike. If there's a spike, there's gonna be another lockdown, which means it's gonna just keep continuing. If
Right.
there isn't a spike and everything just kind of just slowly
Tunnels
declines,
down.
and then schools start to open back up and blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, then in a year or so we'll just go back to total normalcy. Like, to an extent, I think people are gonna be paranoid, like as just regular people. I don't think people are gonna be as close anymore. Because when niggas are too close to you now, all of a sudden you're just like, oh, yo, my nigga,
back
like,
up,
the
give
fuck,
me a
you
minute.
nigga, the fuck, relax, nigga.
Yeah, like why you so close?
Yeah, why you gotta
Like,
talk to me like right here, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I can see you. I'm wearing a mask, bro. Like, fold the
But-
fuck
but
back.
even some people don't even wear. Like I work in retail, and it's funny because you got some people that's like on the spectrum side of overly cautious. Like they got like 6 masks on and gloves and all kind of shit. You looking like, what the fuck, dude? No, man,
Yeah.
why you doing too much?
Yeah.
Then you got that one nigga. He ain't got nothing on. He just, I gotta wear a mask for real. He's like, "Hey, you know what's going on?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You have to.
So you always got to be in the middle of it. So I don't know if the world will ever come to a normal point of how it used to be. Because beforehand we was, you go out, you party, you mix with people, new people, and especially you being Southern, you hug, you dab, you close to each other, this and the third. Now everybody like, all right, my nigga, back up. You know what I mean? Chilling right there.
Yeah.
And it feels weird. It don't feel like it's normal to have. Even when you throwing a party, they like, how many people gonna show up? Before you like, nigga, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Yeah, it's like, I can't be.
I don't know if I want to be a
can't
party of
be,
these
can't
random 15 people.
Can't have no bitch doing the splits. In the middle of the fucking floor
That's
while
what I'm saying.
the coronavirus is going on.
Has anybody ever been to a strip club lately? I haven't been, so I don't know.
No, I don't even think they're open.
No,
They're not open?
They probably, I think they are. Cause
They are open?
When I go on my IG,
Like, do
bro,
they
I'm
strip
just
with the
seeing
mask
a lot
on?
of- No, man. Like, if you look, I mean, I'm telling you, like, I go, like, from what I've seen, like, secondhand, you know what I mean? Like, when I
Oh, you
go
haven't
out-
been inside there.
No, I haven't been inside. I mean, I thought about going. Like, I was like, yo, like, I just wanted to see what it looked like or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, you go, when you driving past Strokers, whatever, everything's
Is
lit.
it packed?
I haven't gone in. Like, I
But
haven't.
I mean, is the parking lot packed?
But it's in a plaza with, like, other
Oh,
stuff
other
around
people.
it, so I can't really
Oh,
tell.
you talking about strokers?
Yeah, specifically.
I'm pretty
Don't
sure.
ask me
they-
how I
but-
know
but
the
I
parking
see-
lot.
but on
I'm
the
pretty
sign-
sure they're wearing like a mask. Like,
You
cause
think
I
they're
don't
dancing
No.
with a mask on?
No,
Bitch, you just want to see her ass. I don't give a fuck what you got on
Bro,
your
just that-
face.
When I go to the gym, I don't wear a mask.
I do.
For real? You can work out with a mask?
I work out with a mask.
I work out with the sports mask.
No,
I'm
I-
doing my cardio.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing. But I work out with a mask because they made it. the way that they said it was like, yo, we want people to wear masks, but no one does it.
Right.
It's just
No.
like me and like an old nigga and like one woman. Like it's always us three. We're just walking.
I can't work out with a mask.
No, it's difficult. Trust me, bro. I'm like my breathing is horrific. I'm like, you're panting way more, you're sweating more because you're not taking in any air.
No, you're not.
You have to breathe.
You got the sports mask?
No, I don't have one.
Go ahead and order one. It's like $15 on
I know.
Amazon.
I know, nigga. Thank you. Shit.
They just let me know I'm working out right now. That's all I want to say. Just working
This
out.
nigga's new name is the Macho
Macho
Man.
Man.
The Macho Man 4-Day Savage.
Let me give a shout. Let me give a shout out to my wife. My wife really motivated me in a very negative way. She was like, "Damn, my nigga, you can kind of big, ain't you?" I was like, "Really? I didn't think I was that big." Then I looked at my shirt size. I was like, "God damn, maybe I am getting a little big."
It's like, really? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sucking it in right
I
now.
know I'm sucking it in. I'm African. I need to see my penis. What's going on here? So after when everything shut down, it was nothing else to do. So I just started working out.
Yeah.
Then when the gym opened up, I considered it go. Next, extra large shirt. I'm like, oh shit. I'm out there walking around. Move, nigga. Out there, I know.
Muscle and shit.
Hey, rack it up for me. 25? No. I thought 45s. Okay. All right, my nigga. All right, yeah.
Slapping chest and shit.
But yeah, I feel good. You know what I mean?
good. That's a
This is
beautiful
probably the second most healthiest part of my life.
Beautiful.
Salute,
Yeah.
bro. Salute.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I know that's like definitely. I feel like it takes a lot. It's like mental, you know what I mean? Because I feel like even for myself, like, I mean, I fluctuated for the last couple years, like weight wise and stuff like that. It's not easy, especially right now. It's weird because it's like you have time. It's like almost like you feel like you have no excuse. Like it's like, well, you have
enough time.
You have enough
Right.
time, but then at the same time, I think a lot of it,
It's just eating.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's mental because what do people do when they're depressed? Sometimes they eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when
facts,
you're dealing with
facts.
all these things coming at you mentally, I think this
Right.
year is just a mental year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like trying to process that or staying disciplined. But I mean, everybody's different. But I think like how you were saying, it's like once you start getting after it, you do feel better. You know what I mean? Like, me and my aunt, my pops, like, we'll play basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like it was like getting back into it was crazy.
My Lord.
But then like
Yeah.
and it's like war too.
Oh my
It's
God.
war.
It's
Oh, yeah,
war.
I hate-
nigga, the first game, niggas is like, woo! Niggas is Jordan, nigga. The second game, we're like, yo, Neph's like, I'm gonna go get some Gatorade, nigga. Neph come out with 45 Gatorades. Niggas is like, woo!
Electrolytes.
10 minutes in, niggas is like,
Oh shit. Fuck.
my brother's, that nigga's relentless, son. That nigga's like relentless, son. So now he sees that you're like tired. So now he's like playing mad hard.
Yeah, that's that nigga.
Hell yeah,
That's
he's
the nigga
playing mad hard. Huh? Where you going, nigga? Huh? Huh? Where you going, nigga? Huh? What's up? Where you going, nigga? And you're like, oh my God, son. You just be throwing, yo, son, I be throwing the nigga the ball on purpose. I just be like, get it, Neff.
Give me 5 seconds.
Rebound.
These niggas both out of shape. Here, you check ball. Check ball. Catch 5 seconds. Check ball. You roll the ball real slowly. All right. What score? We up. We up 2.
Oh my God.
This
Yo,
nigga wanna keep going.
when that leaves, son, I be in the car, son. My chest is on fire, son. I be sitting there driving, yo, like, oh my God. I get to the house, I'm like crawling in here, son. I just lay in the tub. I'm like, woo! All right, son. I did it.
Wake up in the morning time, be sore as shit.
Yo, in the morning, it's like I have a hangover,
Oh, it's
kid. I'm like,
horrible.
it's the worst.
Nigga, I swing my legs out of bed. I just be like, I sit there. My wife be like, you getting your morning prayers in? I be like,
Lord, let me out this bed.
Lord, please let my ankles support this weight. Oh, he old as fuck. I don't even care what's going on.
And you're like, yo, why is it this hard? But that's what happens when you just start getting back into like exercising. Your body is like
Yeah, that
moving
shit
and
hurt.
shit like that. Yeah, you got to give your body time to like adjust and like, you know what I mean, get back to it because then you're sore as a fuck afterwards. You know what I mean? Your whole, it's not even like, it's your whole body.
The whole
Yeah, your
entire-
whole body.
Entire body. You're
Hurts.
like, oh my God, my fucking hair hurts right now. I didn't even think hair could hurt. I'm in here putting band-aids on my hair and shit. I'm like, this shit gotta work, nigga. Put some fucking this shit. My wife was like, what you doing? Like, I'm putting Bengay on my hair, nigga. I got a Bengay perm, nigga.
Niggas be like, hey, can you write this down for me? You got a softer pencil? Shit hard.
Just saying it to my memos. I'll write it tomorrow.
Yeah,
just saying it to the
what it
memos.
is. All right, come on, let's get it.
Yo, it's
Like,
true.
I work at retail, so we got to do a whole bunch of walking around. I remember one session, my wife just kicked my ass that one session. And I had to go to work like 30 minutes later. This lady was like, "Hey, I want to look at this 65-inch TV over here." I was like, "Fuck!" All right, hold on. Get that. Okay, let's go find out that TV is. She said, "You okay?" I said, "I just left the gym." She said, "Oh, okay, baby. Come on, bring over here." I said, I walk over there. How much is the TV? He was like, "Bro, the price tag is at the bottom of the TV. Nigga, we could have did that shit."
That's $1,200.
God damn, $700. Oh, okay. How much is that TV way over there? God damn it. Come on, Gwinnetta. Shit.
Come on, Harriet. Ruining my
I'm
life.
telling you, sore shit walking around.
Come on, Harriet.
I'm telling
Do
you.
y'all know that everybody out there keeping us up on Facebook, shout out to y'all. But y'all know that Fresh Prince,
coming back.
that Fresh Prince, it's not a reboot, but it's like a one episode off.
Yeah.
Really?
It's coming back, yeah, on
Oh.
HBO Max. And they got original Aunt Viv back.
Oh, they got the black vid.
They got the black Viv.
Ah.
They both black, but,
But-
you know,
But without Uncle Phil.
without Uncle Phil.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I mean, the thing is too, like, I saw the whatever the post, but I'm like, because are both on? How's that gonna work though?
Yeah, I don't know, but both of them are gonna be back.
They're gonna be both on there?
Both of them. They both coming back. How they
How
gonna
they
do
gonna
it?
do
I have
that?
no idea.
He was cheating?
I don't know if they're gonna make it where he got a divorce from the other one. I have no clue, but that's exactly what's gonna happen.
That's weird.
I mean, because how did they end up introducing him? Like, remember when the
They
I
didn't,
guess-
they didn't do the introduction. One just went out and the other one was just.
No, but I think they kind of like were like playing it off. They're like, "Oh, Aunt Viv, you look different." Like it was like something
I don't remember. I just know. I just woke up and it was just a light skinned A Viv, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like to me, it didn't bother me because she wasn't the star of the show. It was
Right.
always Will Smith and Carlton,
right,
and
right.
I liked the Butler.
And the
Yeah. So those were the three that I really cared about.
Yeah.
Everybody else was second nature to me, so it wasn't like a big thing to me.
Like
But-
me personally, I think the original Aunt Viv was like she made the show to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You think so?
Yeah, because it's like just the overall, like she was like, how do I say it? It's like she had that authenticity, you know what I mean? Black mother type vibe.
Oh.
Whereas like the new Aunt Viv, she was kind of like. She didn't have that swag, like you know what I mean. Like she didn't. I don't know.
I treated her like she was like one of the kids. Like I just treated her like she was just a supporting character. It wasn't a big deal
Yeah.
to me about Aunt Viv. It
They
really
should have
wasn't.
made her an aunt, like a legit aunt, like that's
Like,
Phil's aunt.
coming to visit.
Yeah, like
Right.
coming to visit kind
Or
of thing
Will
instead
Smith's
of like
aunt from Philly.
right,
That's
exactly.
what I would have did.
Definitely, yeah.
But I don't get paid the big bucks, so.
And you know what they're doing? Y'all know that there's going to be a drama version of The Fresh Prince coming out of Bel-Air. Do you guys know that?
I saw the trailer for it one time.
Yes.
Was it that good? Was it,
Yo,
but,
you never seen this?
No, no.
oh, it's a trailer. You got to check it out. It shit look good as fuck.
It is amazing. What they're doing
I thought it
is
was just a step thing. But
no. A fan
Nice.
Yeah, a fan
who
did
was
it.
in I guess he's in film school. He did an entire version of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air but a drama, not a
version of
comedy.
it. Yeah, not a comedy.
So it's like Fresh Prince. He comes from Philly as a basketball star, and he moves to Bel Air because he's getting into trouble.
Right.
But it's a drama. So
Yeah.
all the same
like-
shit that you would see,
But it's like a series.
but it's
yeah,
a series.
Yeah.
and
yeah,
the shit
yeah,
was so
yeah.
good. Will Smith picked it up, and they're making it a legit series.
Right.
Imagine that.
Yeah, the trailer was nice.
The trailer was
he cut a
super
nice
nice.
trailer for it.
And
So I didn't know if it would be real life because they never talked about it after the trailer hit. I just thought, oh, that'd be dope if they did it, but they never said anything about it. So I mean, yeah, I can see it happening. It's a dope trailer. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. I mean, we just got a lot of time in our hands.
Yeah.
So
Now's the time to be creative.
right now, you got no excuse to be like, all right, I got an idea. I need to come out with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it just comes down to how bad you want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when I see that, like that just pretty much lights the fire even more for me. Like I'm like, okay, I got to get on my Grizzly. You know what I mean? 'Cause-
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no excuse at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody, we just got to find a way. I think, what's cool about this time, I think is like, we're all trying to find a way. In Creole, it's called déboucher. So it's like you're trying to find a way to unplug, like how you unscrew the top. You're like, we're all trying to find a way to unhinge ourselves from the normal day-to-day bullshit. Like
Right.
everyone's trying to find some idea
Well, I think
that works.
Well, I think that we had to unplug because there was nothing else distracting us.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, I'm back at the crib now. What do I do? So some house projects that you put off for so long,
Right.
now you got time to do it. Some other projects that you
Facts.
got going on, now you got time to do it.
Yeah.
Spending time more with your kids and your wife.
Yeah. You got
You
the time.
you got the time to do it now.
Yeah.
If you really like your job,
Yeah.
because some people working, they just like to go to work. They don't really like their job too much. Now it's like they're stuck at the house. Like, man, I don't like this shit.
That's
We'll go
true.
find another one.
You right.
That's true.
So
And sometimes
it's just finding your new. I think people try to find their new norm of living now as much as you can, and it's a process. I mean, I know I've gone through processes, and I'm going through a process right now.
Yeah.
Just physically, spiritually, I'm going through another process. Mentally, I'm going through a process. I mean, everything is just is new to me right now. Every day.
do we think people are moving
agree.
closer or further from God? Here's why I'm gonna explain why.
Well, go
Why
ahead. I'll let you- I'll
I'm
let you
sorry.
go.
Why I asked this question. Usually, when things are quiet, right? They always say you hear God in silence. So I'm always wondering, like now, are we moving as a generation now? Are we moving further away from religion? Is it no longer, and I'm going to separate God and religion, pardon me, I don't want to say God, but are we moving further away from religion in itself? Do we find it like this generation, this time now, that everyone is kind of like, you know what, I dig the religion thing, I'm kind of cool on it. I believe in God, but the religion aspect of it, all the rules and all of this stuff that we think God is telling us to do or whatever, I'm kind of moving away from, or do we feel that it's still the same? But I'm going to ask this specifically, and I want both of your opinions on this, specifically for black people. I don't know what other people do, whatever. But do we feel that as this generation, this youth that's coming in, that right now they're kind of like, nah, what do you think, Neff?
Well, the religion of 2020 is OnlyFans for sure.
You made me spit my drink out, nigga. You made me spit my whole drink out on Facebook Live.
I'm not entertaining him on Facebook. Jesus.
The fucking words of Rachel Revolve do not reflect
Not
the
at all.
rest of Sonik
Not at all. 'Cause
Gemz.
if anything happens, I don't want him like. I don't want a guy like. So you want speaking up in the podcast with me, my nigga? That's how you feel?
That's what you cool with that shit Peter said,
I
right? You cool with what Rachel said, right? Oh, okay. So you want an
Nor-
OnlyFans too?
Yeah.
How many OnlyFans you want?
I know, nigga.
Yeah.
Go to hell.
Like, thanks, Rachel.
I know, thank you. Me and that nigga right next to each other. I was really just playing. Fuck you and your full-size baloney slicing ass nigga.
Yo.
But seriously, what do you think? Do you think
But-
that this generation is moving away from religion at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. Yeah, I would say that's pretty apparent because I think, you know, we're the generation of new ideas, you know what I mean? So like just coming into everything happening for the first time ever, you know what I mean? When you go through so much of that and you're maybe looking for answers, or people try to explain things, whether it be culturally or religious, you know what I mean? And I don't know, but you know what? Actually, let me put it like this, because I think I have friends that are religious, you know what I mean? And I think maybe, are we talking about like spirituality, like where it's like you like a actual spiritual connection? Because I feel like, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, definitely it's always been spiritual, because I feel like you can do things religiously, but it serves like a certain purpose. Like Fode was saying earlier about like people that just enjoy going to work, not necessarily the job itself,
Right,
but you
right.
like aspects of it. So it's like, okay, it's more of like a social thing. Like people go to church, or that's like their world, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, but they don't tie it into their life.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It's not really about God or anything like that. Well, I don't want to say it's not about God, but it's just
it's what they're programmed to do.
you're right,
Like,
exactly.
like
yeah.
now you
yeah.
can't go to church.
Right.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, and I'm not saying that there aren't people that exist out there that are like hardcore. I'm sure there may be some people that maybe have church in their homes, and that's cool. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, you know. But I think, I mean, just to kind of like, you know, get to the point or whatever. You know, I think it's hard to say. I mean, it's because it's a very broad topic. Like, but I definitely think more so than anything, I think we are moving away from religion. Just as a society, you can kind of see it. You know what I mean? I think it's moving to a direction where everything is more political than anything. So how you're affected by what's going on in society is really what kind of you know, ends up either that, or I would say the religion is going to adapt to what's going on in society, as it always does.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
absolutely.
And it has. I've seen.
Your thoughts?
Well, I guess I could be the sensible, I guess, a religious person. I know we went from going to church on Sundays to watching church on. We have a YouTube channel. The pastor we watch is called Pastor Darius. We watch him every Sunday. And the reason I like him because his message is just not straight. Read the Bible and say a couple quotes, give you feel it, and then pass the collection plate around and then move it out the day. He actually ties it to what's going on in life, and he teaches from the Bible, so you understand it from layman's terms and stuff like that. I don't think people are actually moving away from church, but I think people, if you are a religious person, you don't, like I told people, you never have to really go to church to be a religious person. If you're a religious person, it's already bound into your soul and bound to your heart. So you might want to read the Bible. You have your own segments, but you also preach what you're saying in your real life. So now you're seeing the people like, hey, you tell people, hey, I'm grateful that I had another day to wake up.
Yeah.
Cool. Some people, they need that church to, I guess, to reset themselves. So now they're finding they don't have to reset to actually go to a building. Your church should be kind of almost like your home. Because it is your temple.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. You got a roof, you got sides, you pray to God or pray to, whatever you want to pray to, but that's your temple. And then when you go outside, you preach the message or pass it on to what you're supposed to do. So I don't think we're getting away from it. It's just that people finding new forms to incorporate that religious mind into themselves to pass it to the world. So that's what it's supposed to be.
I mean, and even kind of piggybacking off of that, because I know we're kind of being a little bit more specific, because we're talking about like more so as black people, right? Or just culturally, our norms and stuff like that. Because I know that there's black Muslims, there's all types of different religions. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, it's a very personal thing. I mean, just speaking from somebody who is in their 20s, I guess, right? Like I look at like even the kids that are younger than me, it's like I don't even think they care. Like, that's the funny thing. I honestly, like, outside of like your household or your background culturally that you come from, like, of course, you know, when you're home, you have to do certain things. But I think for them on individually, like when you get to a place where you're living life on your own. Now, for some people, they kind of, if that was like their foundation, they may come back to that at a later point.
Right.
But I think it can kind of be a double-edged sword. So, like, we're talking about, you know, even style of worship, you know what I mean? There's like generational differences even, because you may have like, you know, it's not that you're not a religious person, but you know, me personally, it sounds crazy, but I was never like, being older now, I can kind of appreciate the artistic aspect of it, but I was never big on like gospel per se.
I love the music, actually.
And I'm not against it. Like, I'm not like, you know what I mean? But it just wasn't a thing. But then again, there's also different cultural aspects to certain things, too. Like, I didn't really grow up around that, per se. But just even...
When you say gospel, when you say gospel, you mean the music or just the message behind it?
Just more so the genre.
Okay.
Yeah, music genre of, like, you know, like where there's, like, black gospel or whatever, you know what I mean? But I do find myself, like... liking certain element, like for instance, like, you know, certain artists, like I just recently, not that it's anything new to me, but I started getting into Lecrae. He just dropped a new album or whatever, and I just thought it was dope because he was talking about like you know, he had been going through a mental health journey, and he was even talking about how, you know, within like Christianity or church, you know, that whole culture, a lot of times that's not really discussed, you know what I mean, as far as like mental health and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's just black. I wouldn't even say that's a religion. I just think black people don't talk about mental health as much as we should be, because we always think either there's, oh, well, you know, your daddy was like that or your cousin was like that. I mean, that is a generational curse, and a lot of people don't know that mental health can be passed down from generation to generation. We don't talk about it. They're like, oh, well, you know, Cousin Pete was crazy. We're like, no, Cousin Pete wasn't crazy.
He wasn't crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't crazy. he had I don't know. He was crazy. No. Don't call me crazy.
Cousin Pete's like,
right. And so they
like, yo, that nigga crazy.
And that's what they say. They're like, oh, don't leave Cousin Pete with the kids. You're like, what the fuck? Like, how is that fixing the situation? They just like, don't we just gonna pawn him into the room and don't talk to this nigga.
That's exactly what black people do.
Right.
They put him off in the back room.
They just put him in the back room and you don't know about it. But they don't know. That's probably one of the biggest. And he left like, oh, I'm serious. Like
I'm laughing because that's exactly what happened.
Right.
He used to be like, yo, don't go in that left room. So
yeah,
don't go in Pete room.
Cousin Pete up there. Like, you don't see Cousin Pete for 3 holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Everything else, that nigga don't never leave his room. And you don't. But they don't put in factor, like, he has a mental problem, but they don't want to pay for it. They just, oh, that nigga just crazy. Put him in the room.
It's crazy because it's so true.
It's
like,
true. You got that Uncle Pete, Cousin Pete, whatever, or sister, I don't know what it is, but they be like, don't go in that room up there. She up in that room, don't they? And then you be in family barbecue. You see that blind move at the bottom thing and move. You're like, what the fuck is that? Don't go in that room. That's Cousin Pete. You're like, what the fuck? Why they got this grown ass man in this room by himself? He can't talk to nobody. He don't come out nobody.
Making him worse, essentially. Making him worse. Making him worse, essentially.
And it's not even his fault.
No.
There's nobody to the time to actually like, okay, he has a problem. Let's go talk to somebody. And I don't know why black people have a problem with mental health. Everybody has a little bit of mental health.
I want to tap into something real quick, though, before I forget. Like, also, as far as going back to the whole, like, moving away from religion, I think, and this is me personally, this is the way I interpret it, but for everything that happens in our world, we look for explanations, hence we have science and things like that, you know, people to try to explain so you can understand why things are the way that they are. So I feel like sometimes, you know, if you come from, like, a very strong religious background family-wise, you know, it's like, for certain things that may have like a medical or a scientific explanation for it, but like sometimes the religion explanation will be different. So it'll be like, okay, like you're talking about generational curses, right?
Yeah,
like, it's like
I got that sugar demon.
It's like, you mean diabetes? Like,
I can't say no to cake, so it's a sugar demon. Pray for my sugar demons to go away. You be like, no, you just have it's a mental side to the cake and the things you want. We can fix that. Now I'm just gonna pray about it and be eating like donuts and cake later on about it. You be like, that's not how to fix it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there should be. I've always felt this way. I don't think one should be against the other per se. I just think like there could be a marriage of understanding where it's like, okay, like let me see it from a different point of view. But generally, like if we're having an honest conversation about religion, not saying again it's all negative or whatever. I mean, there's positives as well, but I think that generally it's not that open-minded. And I'm not saying all religions, but I'm just saying like my experience with religion personally, like it never really seemed to be that open-minded where it's like, okay, like, because to me, you learn through, opposites in life. Like, you kind of don't really know, or sometimes things may reaffirm what you already have a foundation in, but how do you really know, like, this is what it is, or this is all there is, if you kind of never explore. I'm not saying you have to go down some crazy dark path, but you know what I mean?
I think it's the faith, how your family or your structure has built it, and then what you want to go beyond. Because you got some family members, you be like, yeah, I believe there's a God, I believe in Jesus Christ, and that's it. Like, they never go in details about it. And you got those people that's like, whatever, it don't matter. We die. The only known for certain is we're born, we die. That's it. Whatever's happened in the middle, it don't matter to me. It's what it is. So you got those people like that. It depends on what you want to believe in. And I mean, just having that structure behind it, and maybe you just want to find out. You want to ask those questions and have those conversations with people like that's just not like, oh, you don't believe in Jesus. You be like, I'm not saying I don't believe in him.
You want the space to, like I was watching the craze. We speak on a similar topic, and he was just saying like how really just being afforded the space to grow, right?
Right. Without being judged.
Right, without being judged.
Without being judged.
Right, exactly. And I mean, but also I do want to ask this to y'all too as well, like. What do y'all, because me personally, like right now, I think one of the most important questions I've been wrestling with personally in the realm of religion, specifically Christianity, is the African identity in that religion, right?
With the whole, was forced upon us.
I mean, there's that. I mean, because, that's definitely a popular thing. Like people talk about how, which is true. I mean, it is factual historically, like, when... because of slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, like that was forced and imposed. And even before that, the natives that were here, like that, we know like the history, right? And I know that Christianity is not a Western religion. Like it did start in the East, if you want to be technical about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it started in the East.
First Christian church was in Ethiopia, you know what I mean? And you had a Coptic church in Egypt and stuff. So, I mean, if you really want to do the knowledge, like, you can do that. But that's still a different version that we're taught here. You know what I mean? And so I think, especially now, because of social media, the internet, you know what I mean? People, even young people, like information is just like
popping up,
just crazy. You know what I mean? And there's so many different perspectives on things, and I feel like you could get kind of lost in that. So it's like, what, like personally, like, what do you feel like as a black man? You know what I mean? Like how you identify with that aspect of it.
Well,
and how it affects you. Know what
okay, you go first. No problem. Well, I'm gonna answer my first question, and I'm just gonna lead into this question. Well, one, I personally believe that people are moving away from religion. I think people now have a different ideal of God. Like I think people are now like, with like the 10 Commandments or these rules. People are like, these rules don't really apply anymore. It's like following a map from the 1800s. That's not gonna lead you to Lithonia. It's just gonna lead you to some other place. That shit doesn't lead you here because the map doesn't lead here anymore. I think everything that we're dealing with as far as the world and as far as the way that we look at life and things of that nature, hence the reason for me personally speaking, like I don't have a religion. I have a faith in God, but not what they tell me God is. Because there's nobody that could tell me what he is. I don't care if it was from a burning bush. I don't care what they say that happens, and people have these visions and thoughts. I'm like, this is to me, it's unrealistic. I'm like, let's look at life as the way that it is. I look at God as a GPS, and like we're just people following a certain path, and you follow it or you don't.
Right.
Either you're gonna end up lost, or you follow and you end up where you're supposed to end up at, or maybe you just end up somewhere. Whatever. Yeah. But I don't believe God, in my opinion. This is just me. I think when it comes down to matters of humanity, I think really God has like a almost like a I'm gonna let y'all niggas do y'all thing kind of thing. And then I'll see you later. I feel like that's how it is. But like God is like, okay, well, you killed that nigga. I'll see you later. Okay, we'll catch up to you. You made a decision because I gave you free will to do that. So I feel like we're moving. I think the youth is moving away from the traditional aspects of it, even culturally. I think we're starting to see kids are more and more inclined to think something different. Now, as far as the African diaspora and who we are in that sense of religion, I think now I think we're starting to understand a lot of the bullshit that they were telling us was bullshit, right? I'll give you guys a good example. Voodoo, right? Very taboo subject. A lot of people are like afraid of this subject because people are like, it's demonic. It's this, it's that. It is not. Yeah. It is an actual and honoring.
Come listen, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. DeMelo, live for the party. I'm sorry, this nigga's live for the party. Live in effect, live and direct.
They came in like Jason, you know what I mean?
Is in the building, finally.
Nigga just came from Haiti. I gotta make sure.
Nigga, I am good. It's been weeks, nigga. I've been tested twice.
Hey, you done been through the quarantine phase.
I gotta put on a mask from you, nigga. I ain't seen you in mad long. You more dangerous to me, nigga. Take the goddamn mask off, nigga.
God damn it.
God damn it, son. This nigga. Damn it, Freddie.
Don't touch the foot. We can't talk about that.
You know, it's all weird now. It's all crazy.
It's all weird.
What I walk into?
We're talking about religion and shit. You walked in.
No, with the mask on. All
with the mask on, like
Jason and shit. Here go Cousin Pete.
Lock his ass in the room, nigga.
I don't know.
But anyway, so people demonize things. They demonize these ideals of African spirituality because that's what they were telling us to do. They wanted us to accept all this other shit, and they tell us that, yo, these things, you're not supposed to beat these drums. You're not supposed to believe in your ancestors. You're not supposed to believe these things. And then we fall into that shit and start to demonize the things that gave us our freedom, the things that actually made sense, the things that innately, we're all here. We're all black people. We're all African people, essentially. There is something when you hear a motherfucking drum. Something in you changes. We don't know what the fuck that is, but you feel something in your chest. You feel that bump. You feel that heartbeat. Yeah. It means something to you, but you don't know why it feels something. And then they demonize that and tell you, no, you're not supposed to feel that fucking way. Don't feel that way. You're not supposed to believe in this. Believe in this. Believe in this white figure, this thing that's supposed to help you and save you at some point in some and light. It's like, yo, this is unrealistic. Well, when it comes down to African people, this is what I'm talking about. As far as black people in general, this African people, us here, like it's like, yo, we have to make a distinction about what we can't toggle the line. There's no line. We can't jump the fence on this one. Either you're here or you're there. Because I think in America we're so muddled in the lines. Yeah. We're like, we don't know what the fuck we are. And as a people, we're already lost in our identity already. That's why we assimilate to so many different things. We're just attaching ourselves to stuff because it's like, I'm an Israelite, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Baptist, I'm a fucking Buddhist. We're just attaching ourselves to stuff. But innately, there is no in the origin story. There is no story of in actuality. There's not even a story of God. God doesn't even exist. The ideal of God doesn't exist because it's automatic. It's almost like, yeah, I see this person, I see all of you, all for one, one for all. What I eat, you eat, I eat. We all die, we all live. The ideal of it is almost just nature. It's just the way that it's supposed to flow. And then they come in, and then they put you in shackles, and then they say, no, you believe in this, this is what you're supposed to believe in, and now you move forward with this. I'm going to fucking save you. Save me from what? This wasn't even realistic. This is what I believe, like, as far as just black people, African people. Yeah. that we have to have a discernment and really think about who we are as people, as like a unit, not just one individual or not like a group of people or where you're from, all of this dumb shit. Like, as a people, what do we actually believe in? What is this? Are we going to be afraid of ourselves? Because that's what I think it is. I think a lot of it is a fear of like, yo, am I going to really connect to this person? Are my ancestors? Am I going to connect to them? When I do libation here and I leave out fruits, my mother passed away. I leave out fruits and stuff for her all the time here. They're like, well, that's like, some people might look at it like, this is demonic. It's like, no, but she's my ancestor now. My mother is not my ancestor who's going to light a path for me. This is how we all believed. So now, they tell you, you're not supposed to fucking believe in this. You believe in Jesus, and I'm just using this as an example, not demonizing it in any way, but they're like, you believe in this, and that's just how you go. Everything else doesn't exist. I'm like, no, it totally exists. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus is an ancestor if that's the case. If he was a real person, he's an ancestor now. If we're gonna believe it in that sense, so we have to think about it in that way when we're talking about spirituality as Black people. Now, I'm not talking about everybody else, but just us. We have to have a uniform. Because I tell you one thing: wherever there's poor people, you'll find an influx of religion. Whenever there's poor people. You go to Haiti, there's a million religions, a million churches. You go to Brooklyn, there's a million churches. You're like, why is there so many churches on one street? Yeah. This Baptist, this event is this. I'm like, that niggas is right next to each other. Yeah. Why? Right. We're all here and we all live in the same neighborhood. Nigga, I don't even like you. That's the crazy shit. And I'm gonna sit right next to you in church and then punch you in the face on Monday. That's the craziest shit. It's like, yeah, I mean, you deserve it, right? Like, I should have got punched in the face. But in reality, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, it's like there should be one. We have to find one uniform identity, like just to say, look,
it's almost impossible.
I know that, and I don't disagree with you.
It's impossible.
It is, especially at this time now.
Right.
But I think it's because we have this very hard distinction about who we are. We really don't know. We are locked into this mass confusion of understanding. Here's why I say this. I'm gonna let you go. Then I want Flacco to give his opinion. But I think that we are locked into this weird ideal of who we are as people, how we find ourselves. So everyone is like searching for some shit, and then when we find it, all of a sudden, this person who doesn't believe in shit you believe in is now your enemy for some reason. But it's like one God. But it's like, no, this God is different. He's Allah. No, it's not. It's this one. It's like, that's why I'm like, God, I promise you, God, I in my opinion, God is looking down like these niggas are crazy. These niggas are crazy. Like, I don't even fuck with y'all. I swear, God is like, I'm built. You know how big the universe is? God is like, I don't even see y'all niggas over here. Like, I promise. God is like, I hear y'all niggas. I don't even see y'all niggas over here. I already got 45 different Earths over here. I just believe the planet is huge. I believe there's like a lot when it comes down to it. That's just, again, this is just H1's ideal of it. Again, to answer your question, again, I just feel like when it comes down to Black people's spirituality and religion, we have to discover who we are uniformly as a unit. If we don't do that, we will always be.
I'll say it right
now.
That's never going to happen because we're always divided upon. We can't even decide if we're going to have chicken on Sundays when Auntie Brew's kick.
You know the only time we unite though is when we suffer.
Yeah.
When there's suffering, there's unification.
Because you know why? There's a common enemy.
Exactly.
There's a common enemy.
That is exactly it.
Right, because the common enemy.
Exactly. As soon as we suffer, if everyone is doing good, you don't hear shit. So when niggas are doing good, niggas barely pray, son. Niggas like, I'm doing good, nigga, I'm lit. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just got me this Tesla. I ain't praying for shit. God, thank you for the Tesla. Appreciate it.
Well, I hope if you have a religious stone in your back, you're not be like, well, got this Tesla. Appreciate it, Jesus. And you just ride out. You're supposed to pray when it's bad, but you especially pray when it's good.
Exactly, because
at the end of it can easily turn bad.
Easy.
But again, I had anybody that knew me, my foundation was weak as shit growing up. my mom was a Muslim and my dad
really?
was a Christian.
Wow, yeah.
And then my mom converted later on. But growing up, they was like, hey, you do your research, you find out what you want to believe, and you go with that. We're not going to press you into nothing.
That's dope.
I went to the Muslim school, hated that shit. Not saying I hate Muslims, but I'm just saying that the Muslim school was too strict for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Christian, go there Sunday, I can bullshit for like an hour, do what I need to do, and keep moving. I was a kid.
No, that's true. Yeah,
It was just
that's right.
all right, Sunday you had to go to church. Or you had to go to Muslim school. Which one you want to choose?
Yeah.
I go to church. I went to a white church, got out 45 minutes to an hour, you head back home.
Yeah.
Cool.
Word.
Muslim school was fucking 4 hours. As a kid, who want to be in school for 4 hours?
I
I only got Monday through Friday. I go to school. Next time on Sunday, I go spend 4 hours in a Muslim school. They give me hot dogs and rice. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
We don't need to pray that much in the damn way. I don't care. And my dad didn't help it, but that's another story. But as I got older, I went to go find myself because as a man, at the end of the day, you try and find yourself because you're seeing growth in yourself. Good, bad, or ugly, you're trying to find growth as a man, no matter what. I always tell people there's 3 growths you're gonna have in your life as a man, woman, child, or whatever. You're gonna have physical, you're gonna have mental, and you're gonna have spirituality. Now the spirituality might come later on, but you damn sure need that because that's your foundation of your wall. It's some things, I don't care how much they pay you, how much is going wrong, this and that, you know deep in yourself is right and wrong.
Yeah.
That's just the base of it. That's your character, what you do behind the walls, whatever If anybody tell you anything about H1 or Fode or Marcos, anything like that, or Peter, nah. Somebody tell you about it, that ain't Peter.
Yeah.
If somebody told me something about Peter, I'd be like, that ain't fucking Peter.
Yeah.
You can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I don't care
right.
what you say.
Right.
As a man, woman, and child, you know that.
Yeah.
So at the end, you finding growth. So doing that growth, you might get lost because you think, money's over here or it's sunny over there, this and another. And when you see people having a good time over there and you struggling over here,
Right.
your first instinct, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I need to be over there doing that.
Yeah.
I'm a good person. I like money. I like this. I need to find out what they're doing over there. So you might lose yourself a little bit.
We got a couple of comments. I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead.
Shout out to Julius Pinellas, wifey in the building. Marcus Wade, Ashley, thank you for everybody watching in. Paul, Sis, thank you. Julius Pinellas says religion has been limited because people has left their religion or their religious journey to a man in a pulpit. Hold on. Telling them what it is instead of reading the Bible.
That is
Are
true.
you saying that we are monolithic? Prior to slavery, do you believe that African tribes had the same religion? Good question.
Right.
Good question.
I can't speak on back in the day, anything like that, but I just think whatever makes you comfortable and whole right now, that's what you need to do. So if you believe in being a Christian, if you feel like being a Muslim or being a Jew or Buddhist or this, that, and the third, because at the end of the day, all religions point to one God. At the end of the day, it's really just one God.
Exactly. And just I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just want to say to Judith, who left the comment, I think personally that question came to me. Do I think that we were monolithic and Africans didn't have different tribes? Yes, I believe that we had different cultures. Like we had different ways of doing things. But I believe the understanding of the universal God was the same. I believe that ideal. I think the way that we may have, and it's the same now, right? But I believe that people actually believe God is different for everybody else. I think in those
some people's
times,
minds, it
right?
is.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to what you were brought up with and what do you believe now.
Absolutely. But
It's what you believe now, and that's what you hold on to. Like you can't be wishy-washy what you believe. If you're a Christian, then you believe Jesus Christ and you believe in God, and then you hold on to that skill to further your knowledge on building that knowledge of what your faith that you have, because that's the end of it. It's
absolutely,
faith.
absolutely.
It's what do you believe?
But
in?
I want to add on to the original question since Flock has joined us too, like because we're talking about like.
Well, first,
hold
what
on.
was the original question?
Hold on. Let me just say this. I do not believe that we're monolithic. I believe that we had a universal idea of the way that we believe as far as God. I believe that we believe that there's one God, but I don't believe that we're monolithic in the way that we went about it through, if we're talking about just tribes. And you could give me your thoughts, Judith, on that. Peter, well, actually, before Peter, I'm sorry to cut you off. Flock, your thoughts quickly on what we're talking about. What we're talking about is just, Peter asked a question as far as religion, as far as black people, and how how do we assimilate to religion now as black people? Is that what your question was?
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to recap because, well, basically we were talking like, okay, so like in today, like literally today, like, do we feel like we're moving away from religion, or do we feel like we're moving closer to it? So we were kind of breaking down, like, you know, all these different aspects,
the backstop of it, the history of it, and what you is in terms with now. But right now, you can't go to a church now.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how are you quenching your thirst if you ever had a thirst to keeping your religious side up? Is that what you want to say?
But then I also wanted to add, just because I was even thinking as I'm, and these are like dope perspectives, I'm like kind of taking it all in. But I was just going to say, like, do you also feel, and this is for everybody, like, do y'all feel like, as we're talking about like moving closer to it or moving away and what that means, like as far as cultural identity, like, do you feel like there's an actual utility behind it? Like, do we necessarily need that?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going back to your three norms as a human being. You got physical, spiritual, and mental. You need those three ports in your life to actually grow as a human being. Because at any time, anything you slack off, just like anything, if you've been working out for so long, you slack off being physical, you get fat and you get unhealthy. Mm-hmm. If you slack off on your spirituality side, then that can waver to where you were strong, was like, nah, I'll never do that. And if your spiritual goes down, you might, well, maybe I might want to do that, this, that, and the third. And being mental, I think your mental is your breaking point of what you need to have. Because right now, at these times right now, if you're not strong to balance the other two parts, your mental can go straight down. And I mean, some people just crack. All because they don't have their spiritual side is not strong, and their physical side is just being a stronger human being is weak. So you got to have those 3 points to balance your life out.
There's so many dope points. I mean, like, I'm going to just pass it off to Flock after this, but I just want to kind of interject one little thing, because we did touch on this earlier, too, and talking about, like, mental health as well, right?
Right.
Like, I see what you're saying. Like, I definitely get what you're saying, especially if you're coming from the standpoint as a believer, right?
Right.
So it's like, if you're coming from that standpoint, like, you have a belief in something, and you're talking about, like, your spiritual health in that sense has to be strong in order for everything else to be strong.
Correct. Because it balances out.
Right.
Like a pyramid.
But I also feel like when it comes down to mental health, I feel like if that's not straight, everything else is skewed. Because, like, even with spirituality, because we know, like, this is no secret. Like, we were just talking about this earlier as far as, like, how, you know, religion was introduced, especially to the people that were kidnapped and enslaved, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how that was introduced. So when you kind of, like, religion has a powerful ability to be manipulative, right? If it's used in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So, like...
But that's anything.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, mentally speaking, because we're talking about, like, knowing right from wrong and having a sort of, like natural intuition with your spirituality, right?
Well, right and wrong is not, I don't mean to cut you off. Right and wrong is not a religious base. That's a character base. Mm-hmm. So that goes between your character and what you was brought up with. That's not religion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Character is what you do behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So that's why people can say about a religious thing, but nobody, if they know your character, I don't care how much religious person you have behind you, you know that person what they can't do.
Right. Well, Flock, what are your thoughts? Yeah. Let's get you.
Well, I mean, that's
that's a good point.
Y'all be going in, huh?
Your beard looks immaculate, by the way.
Oh, I thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Pause.
Shea moisture.
I can call
So we're talking religion and how it affects us in today's world, and
right. Especially this terms now.
Especially in these terms now. I mean, whether we're getting closer or getting farther away is really hard to tell. I guess it goes back to like before they said your character, what type of person you grew up to be, and your influences. What do you do behind closed doors? I know a bunch of people that still pray behind closed doors. You know, so at some sense, getting closer to the religion. In other senses, some people just like, I'm gonna take care of my own.
Yeah, they
Went to the gun shop.
Yeah, they ain't got no. They ain't got
Is
no
any
church.
wrong or right?
That's not for me to.
But
judge.
that's it's hard to judge that on another person.
Right.
If depends on what you do behind closed doors. If you walk in the house and find a wad of money, you gonna tell wife or you gonna put it in your pocket.
Growing up, like as far as your religious base, how do you think it affected you yourself? Because you, as me, we grew up Catholic. Am I correct?
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah,
how do you
and
think?
younger, my aunt would have us in the church every other day. Like, and then when we wasn't at church, we'd be at home praying. And
Yeah.
She didn't play those games. But the older you get, the more you realize what was and what wasn't for you. So I just kind of fell out of it and started doing my own thing. I believe in the higher power, but what to call it is up to you.
Good point.
Some
Good point,
days,
what to call it? That's right.
some
I think
days,
that's a good one.
God. Some days, I mean, I know in some cases you might wake up and think God was a female.
Yo, that's so funny you say that, yo. That's funny you said that. That's funny because I actually had that thought this morning.
Really?
I dead ass had that
Like
same
it's just certain
thought
things
this
you see. It
morning.
was like niggas don't think of that shit.
Yeah, because I'm like, but then you like it's like putting God into a gender is almost is like
Yeah,
like
why?
something, right?
It's-
It's like, but then you're also
Well,
thinking because I'm thinking
that's
of
your human side of you.
exactly.
Thinking of it as a gender. Like, does it matter?
No, it does. You know what's crazy? Because I was thinking about the
I think
protection
because
that
we're
we
so
have
human, it
over
kinda does.
women.
All right. But there's no text or anything that says it's Almighty God.
Right.
Nobody
But
said
yeah, but
Almighty. Yeah.
exactly. They
And
just
then
told
even
us it
with
was a
that,
he. They
even
just
with
said
that,
he.
yeah, even
Yeah.
with that, like you take it back to go back in time, narratives change in all of these stories, whatever religion you believe in.
That's true.
But it is a story that's passed down from time to time. But that goes back to your character and your faith base. Because at the end of the day, whatever you do when you close that door, that's between you and whatever you pray to.
Yeah, and he just brought up like
And you gotta have a balance regardless. Like you mentioned, what
The
the
motherfucking period, nigga.
Period,
the
nigga.
physical, the mental, and the spiritual.
You gotta
Like
have those
if
three.
one is
And
off,
that-
it's gonna affect the other
it's
two.
off balance.
That's a fact, but I like what you just said as far as like you're thinking God is a female. Like the ideal, almost like and to all the female watchers, it's kind of like because you've been inundated with thinking God is a he, right? So regardless, you always think of God as a man.
But you know what's crazy coming from our cultures too? Like not to cut, but like I think that's even more. It makes more sense to envision God as a woman because I feel like culturally, it's more of a matriarch. I don't know if that's like. I mean, I feel like it's the same for all of us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's like
I
it's
can-
more
I
of
can-
like
I can-
a,
I
like
mean,
like I fear my mom more than I fear my dad.
That's
too,
a fact.
you know?
That's a fact.
But it's like
You know what? Just to piggyback off that, the reason why I had that thought this morning was because I was thinking that men are here just to protect. We're here to actually protect women and children. Like, so the man ain't gonna we're not creating. Like, I'm not God. I'm gonna create niggas to protect it. I'm creating you niggas to be you. But I'm creating a woman created you. Like, we gotta create someone to protect us out here in these streets. Like, yo, make a nigga. It's like, yo, make a nigga, son. Yeah, just make a nigga like, yo, make that nigga clitoris big as a motherfucker.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. All right.
We're talking science, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna delete that part out.
All right.
I'm
You
gonna
can't
delete that.
rely.
You're lying.
Rely.
No one heard it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I know.
It's
got
a joke.
flags.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
This shit
It's
just gonna
a
cut
joke.
off all of a
It's
sudden.
just
You
joke.
have been locked out,
It's a
nigga.
joke. It's a joke.
it's just the imagination. You know what I mean?
It's a joke.
But yo,
It's a joke.
like-
But seriously. But seriously, like, if you're thinking about it, like
But I
a
mean,
woman, God
like-
created like men just to be like, yo, you guys are here to protect us. Because technically, I mean, they bring life. You know what I mean? Men, we have life in us in a sense, but like they bring forth life. They carry that life for 9 months and they do all of that. That's like a sacred thing. And then I was like, yo, like a man God. I'm not. That's the thing is, I don't even like putting God in terms of any kind of sex. I think it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Asinine to me.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense because I have no idea what God is.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to know what that thing is. It's just it is. And that's why I believe in not to cut you off, but that's why I believe in the I am ideal. Like I am, right?
Yeah.
You guys ever looked up what that means? It's like the I am. Like that's the me. Like if you look up God I think it even says it in the Bible that he's the I am.
Yeah.
That is the you.
Yeah.
It's
Like
it's
will?
nuts, huh?
Like, will I am?
Huh?
No, not will I am.
Will I am?
No, not will
I'm
I
slow.
am.
Because you know when Moses, when God talked to Moses in the burning bush, and then Moses was like, well, who do I tell these people? I'm basically, speaking on the authority of it, and God was like, well, I am that I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is no,
There's
I'm
no-
bigger than like
Right, there's no
a description or
pronoun. Right,
Yeah,
like,
you can't.
you know what I mean?
I mean, even if there's no description,
Yeah. Which
God.
and technically speaking, I believe in Judaism, they can't even say that word. Like that's blasphemous to even say I am. Yeah, because
Okay.
they don't even. But okay. So I wanted to say something. You were saying about God being female, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even within that, I guess Abrahamic faith, you could say like Islam, Christianity, like they all have that concept of like God being a man. But even in like earlier scriptures like the Torah and stuff like that, like they talk about how God does have both characteristics of like a father, which you would think like, like a fatherly role and a mother, you know what I mean? So I mean, does it matter for some people? Maybe, you know what I mean? But I think just even for myself, like I think what is the most important thing is your personal relationship with that, right?
That's
because it's like we could sit
Your
here
character.
and slice it up like all these different ways and stuff
Right.
like that, but without a personal connection to it, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, because somebody else like could be listening to this and like they're not spiritual at all, and they're just like, yo, y'all are crazy, y'all bugging. You know what I mean? Like
because
it's
everyone
like,
picks and chooses. It's something we
Right.
talk about all the
Yeah.
time. Now people
Right.
like in religions, people pick and choose. They're like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
like my
Right.
God is cool with me, fucking, you know what I mean, fucking doing whatever the fuck I do. Yeah, I mean, my God is cool with that shit.
Like, God created it.
You know what I mean?
Why I can't smoke it?
You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean? But it's just
But it's like, yo, you don't need crack.
what?
That's that what you meant?
No.
My bad.
I'm out.
I didn't mean it.
God didn't create crack.
He created everything.
No, not crack. And it's-
how crazy that falls into
that is
It's
not
like-
I remember that,
earthbound.
but even
Like,
as
you
we
can't
talk-
go
yeah.
pick crack. Like, oh, good crack.
But it's like, what is it? Meth and stuff, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's man-made. All right. Jesus.
I mean, like,
I'm just saying. All right, well, God didn't create crack. I'm sorry, guys. This is a joke.
It's so crackhead. Really?
Really?
What are you gonna do? I got a shovel. Find this crack.
we know who got our first class ticket to hell. You know that.
Where you going?
don't do crack.
I'm going
Don't do
up Cap
crack,
Creek.
guys. Crack is whack.
Going to Cap Creek.
Crack is whack.
Crack is
Crack
right.
is whack. Don't do it.
All right,
If you're doing crack in 2020, something's totally wrong with your entire life. All right, just don't do crack.
You didn't learn from Whitney Houston? Crack is whack.
Ooh, yeah, don't do.
Oh,
You
my
shouldn't
gosh.
be doing crack in this day and age. We're having fun. Don't take
But I
it
mean,
too
but
serious.
honestly, like, yo, these are like, this is the more. But I personally feel like this is more spiritual. Like, this is the realm that I like to kind of be in.
feel
You
like
know what I
this is
mean?
church.
Because like I have friends from all different types of backgrounds. You know what I mean?
supposed to.
And it's like, but I'm just saying, like, people a lot of times they're afraid because you are taught to like you're not taught to really ask questions about like because certain things. Like I remember one time it was me and my friends were in church and we were just kind of just talking about what we were learning, I guess, and then we're just like had this thought, right? Like it's like, okay, so, and I'm like off topic and come back or whatever or get off of it, but I was just thinking like, with the idea of God, there's also like everything has an opposite, like we were talking about earlier. You know what I mean? There's light, there's dark. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
It's the opposite.
right. So the devil or Satan or whatever, right? Like he started as an angel at one point, like Lucifer, right?
Correct.
So supposedly, like he was jealous or envious, and he wanted to be like number one, and so he was basically like a war broke out, and like he was cast out of heaven, and that's how this whole thing started, right? But if you think about it,
no, it's not what he's saying. It's just the idea when you're thinking about it. It's like God is the ultimate God, and there's some nigga like, you know what? Man, fuck that. I'm starting a war out here, son. Let's go, niggas. And God is just like, all right, I'm gonna give you Earth.
But see, but here's the thing, right? So even with that, right? Like even with the details of that, like it's like, okay, for anything, because this is like, I've heard people say two sides of this, right? But if you really like, you can go to the Bible, Google it or whatever, like, because we talk about the devil as like, we think of that as the embodiment of evil. Like he's the reason why there's bad and evil. And if you believe in the whole, whatever, from Genesis to Revelation, whatever, like that's the reason for everything, right?
Okay.
But there is a scripture that says like God is the one that creates evil. Like, you know what I mean? Because people are always like, when bad things happen, when good things, you're like, oh man, like, God, why is this happening? Or you could look at it like maybe the devil's doing it, you know what I mean? But kind of like circling back, like it's like God created everything, right? Like before any other created person or being was in existence, he created it. So my question was just like, going back to the whole Lucifer thing, or even the idea of free will. I'm bouncing all over the place, but it kind of all ties in.
Right,
like,
you're
I just,
all over the place.
But I just feel like he puts those things within a person. So technically speaking, if that person chooses to do something, like it's like if I already know you're gonna do something, and I created you, right? Like with the knowledge that I know that you're gonna do it,
right?
Then it's in a way I'm creating that.
Yeah.
Because you could have easily not created it
and destroyed it.
Or destroyed it.
Or destroyed it.
That's true, but you gotta understand. This is like
so. It's not really.
It's deep. It's
But what I'm
deep.
saying, I mean, you understand. You can't. I mean, when you go by the chapters and back and forth, like the whole thing started when they bought that apple and give you like you can have everything else in this garden, but the damn apple. Don't eat the damn apple. You can do what the hell you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the apple tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially because you put it in their head. It's like a child. Like, they're going to touch the stove. Right? So it's almost like...
I'm not trying to question God right now, but I'm just saying, that's a story.
No. But this is the reason why I'm saying is not even so much to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Because, again, I know that it can be very tricky when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because, again, like, you're not really taught that this is even okay to question these things, right? But what I'm saying is that, like, God gave you a brain as well. Like, I think in order for me to have a personal connection with somebody, right? Like, and this goes for anybody. It could be like your children or whatever.
Right.
They all have different personalities, different ways of being. So to have an honest relationship with that person, like, you have to connect with them on their level, right? So for me, if I'm a thinker, like, this is where my mind naturally goes, right? Like, I don't look at it like maybe some people would look at it disrespectful, but it's just really for the purposes of me even saying like, okay, I would submit to believing this particular way. Because, I mean, to me, I think that's fair. Like, if you want somebody to believe in something, it should make sense. Like, it should have something that, because then if not, then it's really just, I'm doing it out of fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what most people are doing. Yeah. Because I asked you a very ill question. I'm gonna ask this in 4 days. I gotta ask this in 4 days. I gotta ask you this. How old was Adam and Eve?
What do you mean?
How old were they?
When they was born?
How old was Adam and Eve?
You asking the wrong person.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They were adults.
Understand the logic behind that?
They were born adults, but did they have the mind of a child?
They were born
like,
adults.
You know what I mean?
Did they say that they were born adults?
We don't know.
No one knows how old they were, right? So what are you telling someone that they don't touch this? You can't tell a child, hey, don't touch that shit because it's lit. Don't touch it. It's going to burn you. What the hell do kids normally do?
Right.
Instinctively.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
In my mind.
I'm just going deep because we automatically think of them as being like 25-year-old niggas smoking weed.
Where the Christians at? Christians down here. Can you go read the thing? I can't be the only Christian on Facebook right now. What did it say?
Spirituality does not equate to strong mental health. Sometimes you need a pastor
Dang.
and a therapist.
Shout out to whoever said that.
And then Mrs. Canoe said, "Let Flacco speak."
She needs to be the one that be chiming in on it.
This is all you, Mrs. Canoe.
The last one was not Mrs. Canoe, but the first one was like, "Let Flacco speak." She wants to hear. She wants to hear Flacco's thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's an age.
Y'all pretty much broke it.
Yeah, that's probably broken down right here.
I mean, well,
let's go ahead and switch the subject. Let's go ahead and talk about something else.
Okay.
We were going real deep, and I was about to go into some whole other realm.
Let's go somewhere. We need to get a pastor up
Who's feeling
here.
some type of way to start that off?
It just started that way.
Nah,
But
it
let's
just
go somewhere else.
naturally-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was going because we started talking about something totally
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
We were
let's
talking
go-
about Teslas and it got to God.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't know.
It was like Teslas. By the way, you know about God
I
and
know.
shit.
Did you read your Bible this
You
week?
should read the Bible.
Do you
this
have a
week.
Bible in your
You know,
Testament?
the Bible is, it's a battery
All right,
operated.
let's-
Bible's a new Tesla.
The Bible's the
I would have a Bible in my Testament. Put it in there. It's God's vehicle. It's God's vehicle.
Yo, oh my God! But yo, Flock, you weren't here, but let's.
oh,
But, but back to I'm going to bring it back to something we talked about earlier, and I totally forgot it. Just left my brain that quickly. Hold up, it was something we spoke about earlier. It was I wanted to ask Flock.
so they went from
opinion on it.
Teslas to God.
We're talking about
No,
Fresh,
no, no, it was
Fresh
before- It was
Prince.
even before the Tesla.
Prince?
No.
No, that's Fresh Prince.
It wasn't the Fresh Prince thing. I'll get to it at some point. It was something I wanted to ask your opinion on. But I
Okay.
think it was like it wasn't the Teslas. It wasn't about the $1 billion either.
We're wearing a dress?
No. Would you wear a
Okay.
dress for $1 billion? $1 billion. That nigga said, "Girl."
What is one doing in his dress?
No, because that was one of the conversations. We were talking about Tyler Perry's a billionaire.
Yeah, he's a billionaire, and now he's creating his own airport.
Yeah.
And we like, all that all started with him constantly wearing a dress, playing a
as
character.
Medea.
Yeah,
Would
he
you do
asked
that?
me, yeah.
I mean, a lot of the
As
greats
a
wore
character.
dresses.
As a character.
I mean, a lot of the greats wore dresses.
That's true.
Everybody started
Robin
it.
Williams, Martin. No one ever questions Martin about shit. That nigga played mad women. Shit, Nene,
Yeah,
Mamas.
Big Mama's house. Yeah.
He played a
I
woman.
mean, the only
mad
person did was
times.
like what Dave Chappelle. That was the only person that
Yeah,
happened.
Dave Chappelle's the only one that said, "Nah, fuck out of here." And
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Kurt-
Eddie Murphy
Cat
was
Williams?
a bad time. Cat Williams.
Cat
Yeah,
Williams.
Yeah, I think
there was there was a couple old school comedians that did the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
but
nah,
they won't be. They won't be on the
I
same
think it
level.
depends on your like how you look at it. Like I see where Dave Chappelle was coming from with it, which I thought was dope because it's like until then it seemed like everybody else was gonna keep doing that.
Right.
But
Yeah,
necessarily, I don't
definitely
think.
been a decline in the woman dress thing since
Yeah,
he said that
wearing
shit.
that
No,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely.
think last thing
been a
was
decline
what?
in that shit.
Yeah.
What's the comedian? Kevin Hart. Yeah, I think it was the last one.
He won one?
He wore
Yeah,
dress.
on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Did
Kevin
he?
Hart. I
Yeah.
saw something
Really?
like that, too,
Yeah, he won on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he
Damn,
did,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that
He
either.
was
I
like,
forgot
now
what
what?
little girl he played. I forgot.
But I think Kevin Hart has already. I mean, you know, he's kind of shown that he doesn't care about the morality aspect of it. He's like, yo, look, like I'm just trying
I
to,
got
yeah,
kids to feed.
yeah. Like he's like, because even with the whole Oscars thing, y'all remember when you know?
Well, he was big on that.
It was like
he
the
did
black
not
people
want to
weren't going to the
apologize.
Oscar or whatever.
Well, that's because he already apologized.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
more.
true.
He already
got-
apologized, and they kept on attacking him. He's like, "Word." He said, "I'm not finna keep apologizing."
No,
for
because
something
he
that I already
wanted
apologized."
No, but not even
the
that-
network
even before
wanted
that
him to
situation.
apologize their way.
Yeah.
No, but even before that situation, when you remember they were like boycotting the Oscars or something. It was something about like blacks not being represented, and so everybody was like, "Oh, we're not going." But he was supposed to be hosting that particular one.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the same. That's
That's
the same one.
that's the same one,
exact
yeah,
one.
yeah,
That's
same
the
one,
same
yeah,
exact
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's the same one where he was like,
I mean,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not finna hold him because that was his dream.
Right.
That was one of his.
It's like now
I
y'all want to
made
start
it.
boycotting
Yeah,
the year I'm doing it.
you know, everybody has that notch on their belt. Was like, yo, if I ever did this, if I got into this career, this is where I want to be. That was one of his top notches, and he got it. And then somebody took it away.
Let me ask y'all a question. Why don't we ever escalate any black awards to that level? There's the it's not the Image Awards. The Image Awards supposed to be the
forgot about
black
that.
Oscars.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, why is that? Why do we only think like, oh, it has to be the Oscars? But when we think about the Image Awards, which is specifically for us,
black.
we're all like, fuck that. It's not the Oscars. Why do we, Flock, why do you think we do that?
And
I don't.
when
I guess
last time
it's
you watched an award show
it's
and
been a-
cared about it.
it's been
That's
a
what
hot
I'm
minute.
saying, but that's why I'm asking Flock. Like, why does he think we, like, you know?
I mean, it stops being fun after a while.
like all of them.
Yeah,
Or the
like
award
a
show?
lot of them. I mean, a lot of them you go through the same things. People show up. You got entertainment. Some people got awards. You go to like, all right, cool, congratulations. But after a while, it's like I don't want to go
When
through
last
this
time you
again.
really watched
Do
the
we
award
think
show?
awards are gonna die at some point? Like, people are gonna be like,
No.
I don't give a fuck about any of them shits.
No, I think award. I mean, just
Do we
even
think, like, it's-
that's the measurement. Stick,
Eventually,
you know what I mean?
yeah. If
What,
if
for
cat-
artists?
For
if-
everybody. I
if
mean, if you're an
categories don't
athlete-
change and shit like if you don't get new ways to get an award or to
because that's what makes.
I
it
guess to
interesting,
highlight
you know what I
your
mean?
But
successes.
when the last time
then,
you
like,
actually
I-
watched an award
Yeah,
show?
so it's gonna be like whatever.
No, reason
Yeah,
why I
Because
say
50's
that is-
never won a Grammy, and 50 sold 10 million records. That nigga did not. He's never won a Grammy. Snoop Dogg has never won a Grammy. I believe Nas has never won a Grammy.
I don't think not. No.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, a lot
So
of the greats
how
have
did,
never.
like,
you
yeah,
know
it's
what I mean?
ridiculous. Like,
A lot
how
of my
could
favorite
they
artists,
show-
they're nominated for Grammys, but they don't win. But here's the thing, right? Like it's like I
And
get
that
what
goes
you're saying
into
on
sports
that.
too. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of greats that haven't won chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charles
shit.
Barkley.
Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Reggie
Yeah.
Miller, John Stockton,
Man.
Karl Malone. Thank you, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was like, nigga, you ain't winning shit, nigga.
Not on my turn.
MVP,
for me.
nigga. MVP, nigga.
And snuck in there was Gary the Glove. Gary Payton got a
He
chip.
took one.
Get one?
Yes, he did go in Miami Heat. He definitely
With
got
Shaq,
one.
when Shaq was there?
Yep. Gary Payton was on the bench clapping. Yeah, look it up. Gary Payton got a championship.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no
Gary
idea.
Payton had the championship.
Because Jordan took pride in making sure niggas ain't never win a chip. Like that's his like
They got
his
it
biggest
afterwards.
accomplishment. Was
Yeah.
like you didn't win one. You didn't
not
win
when
one.
I was playing.
You didn't win one.
Right.
You didn't win one. You won one after I left.
Yeah.
You didn't win while I was there.
Right.
Like who saw The Last Dance?
I did.
Yeah.
You guys saw it?
Which one was
With
that?
Jordan, The Last Dance
Oh
on
yeah,
Netflix.
the doc, yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys think Jordan's an asshole, or do you guys?
Yes.
Do you guys think? you thought that? I'm not even gonna talk to your ass, nigga.
I mean, I'm just saying though.
Well, I mean,
it was-
everybody
it-
knew that Jordan was an
yeah.
asshole for the longest.
But is it for? Do you guys feel like if you were Jordan, you'd be that way?
Yes.
You?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like he had to be that. You know what I mean?
I speak to my brother Kafu. He'd be exactly like that.
Yeah,
Shout out to my
yeah.
brother. That nigga is the most competitive nigga ever. He never wants niggas to win.
Never.
Never
But that's what
wants
I'm
But
saying.
niggas
there's
to
nothing wrong
win.
with that.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. He's like, yo, being number one. It's like it was a
Pops.
thing for him.
But
Like-
I mean, but that's the thing though,
Spur the
right? Like it's like,
competition.
yeah. I mean, but
But
man,
it's not even that. It's the fact that some people, I think, and I know a lot of people don't like this, and I got 3 boys, and I'm hard on them when it comes down to that because you have to want it.
I was about to say like
You
yeah, if
have to want it.
That's right.
Like I'm just talking about just good grades, good credits,
Yeah.
just little stuff that we
Everything
we
good.
just get. Oh, you showed up. Here's an award.
No.
Fuck that shit.
No.
You want that shit, go grab it. If
right.
you gotta elbow little Johnny in the nose to get it, you elbow little Johnny in the nose to get it. Because at the end of the day, little Johnny might have 10 steps ahead of you.
100%.
Yo, but I'm
with
gonna say this to that because this is also like one of them double-edged sword
Fuck
type
Lil
things.
Johnny.
You know what I mean?
Fuck that nigga, Lil Johnny. I'm talking about no Lil Johnny, nigga.
You take it.
Lil Johnny bleeding on the court.
Because when you take it,
Yeah.
that's what they make you say he's the greatest. If you don't take it,
Yeah.
that's how you like Patrick Ewing. You take it. Just real talk.
Shout out to Ewing though. I
Yeah,
love
I
your
know, right?
sneakers. I got mad Jordan. I got mad Ewings.
Yeah,
Like, how many Ewings you got, nigga?
I'm not saying
Got
about
mad Ewings,
Patrick
yeah.
Ewing and everything,
Yeah.
but Jordan wanted it.
Yeah.
Anybody who
Yeah.
wants it,
Yeah.
and you don't let nothing stop in your way, go get it.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of like,
Fuck Johnny.
Every day. God damn it, Freddie. Fuck Johnny, nigga.
Damn it, Freddie.
Freddie.
But I'm just saying, like, in terms, like, okay, I get that. Like, in life, yeah, definitely. But just in terms of, like, I feel like you have to be groomed to even think a certain way. Like, a lot of times I realize, like, people will give you advice, but they don't really model it. so you don't have an example of how to do that. Like,
Right.
you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, you telling me to be athletic, but you're like 500 pounds. Like, how you gonna sit here and, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, so sometimes I think, like, yes, that's a good, like, I'll give you an example. Like, when I was in, I might have been in like kindergarten or first grade, but I was in, this is like my New York days, like in private school, right? And basically, like they would, you would do like your spelling test or whatever. I don't know if it was like 5 words or like you had to spell, you know what I mean? But you would get like a gold star, like if you were like it was like 2 different categories. I think it was like you got like an A+, you're like in a, you're a Jordan world or whatever.
Right.
Like you get an A, or like you could get like the B- crew, B+ crew, like, you know what I mean? It just kept going down. And like it was so competitive, like if you got like a B+, like you would cry, you know what I mean? Like the kids would be upset that they weren't like in that
A+, right?
That's
you know what I mean?
New York, son.
Right.
You make your life a fucking living hell,
Oh
my
my-
nigga.
and it was
But
yo,
Yo,
that
your
should
life
be
would
they
be
long.
were
hell,
serious about
bro.
that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like
Hell, my
luckily
nigga.
for me,
Yeah.
like
New
I
York
don't
is
know
a
if
different
the
ballgame.
first top category.
Oh my
but
God,
see, in
son.
my case, but I look at it like this, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, for me, I had an earlier foundation when it came to, I feel like education, like, cause my mom, she made sure that that was something that was instilled, like even before pre-K, like I was reading and stuff like that.
Right.
So in a way, like it wasn't hard for me to be in that like category, you know what I mean? Cause
Right.
you had the foundation.
Right.
But sometimes like, I don't know. I just feel like people have like, even if you're like you're mentoring somebody or you're raising a kid or whatever, like you kind of also have to tap into what they're good at as well. Because
Right.
you might put them in something that they're not necessarily
Not
that's
that
not
good at.
their
Right,
yeah.
right,
and then you're
right.
like, yo, why you not
Why you
like
not- why you
number
not
one? And
going
it's
hard?
like, and so it kind of can tear down the self-esteem that way. And it's like, yo, because then you make them feel like they're not good at anything. And it's like, nah, like you just haven't found your thing
your
yet.
niche
You know what I
that
mean?
you can do.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I go ahead.
I'm not bad, but
I'm not saying not to aim for or to be like, like you should want to be the best that you can be
Right.
no matter what you're doing.
Right.
But I just feel like sometimes you gotta almost kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's just the way I think. Like it's almost
No.
like you gotta boost somebody's confidence.
well,
in
you get,
Well,
you
no,
get
I'm-
so
I'm-
excited in some of the things that you forget where you are.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
your little man playing and you out there excited running with him, he missed a kick. Be like, fuck! Oh shit, that wasn't my kick. My bad. You gotta learn those
Yeah.
lessons yourself. But
Like what if you were like let's say if you were like an NFL football player, but your son is destined to be the greatest ballet dancer of all time. But like you're like, yo, like
Yeah.
I
like,
mean,
think about that,
that's
though,
that's
you know what I
that's,
mean?
that's your thing. That's your thing.
that's-
That's what you found your niche. That's fine.
You
That's
have to find your
absolutely
niche.
fine.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about just these kids going out there. They show up for like one game, and then they be like, "Yay! Let's give him a great shot. Give him a cry." No, no, that nigga sucks.
That little nigga suck. Boo!
I'm not saying you tear him down,
Fuck Lil Johnny.
characterize him, but I'm just saying, like, we have to start. I mean, because we give these trophies out and we give these certificates out, but like, yeah, if you just show up and you just do half, you're gonna get a trophy at the end of the day. Life is not like that.
That's a
So
fact.
I don't teach my kids
Yeah.
to be like that. He go out there, he do a little thing, he be on. I did great. Yeah, you did great. Did you give me 100%?
But what I want to say, just to piggyback what you're saying as well, like, or even what I was just saying, like, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that when you kind of allow them to find their own or move naturally in the direction of what they're gifted at, right?
Right.
Because it's like, if like, okay, you'd be like, all right, did you give me 100%?
Yeah.
But I want to know more so, what's your motivation for even wanting to do 100%? Because if you're not motivated to do something,
Get the trophy.
then I mean, not even just that, but look at, I mean, we can look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, the greatest of all time, da da da.
Right.
But we already know that he had kind of a messed up childhood, and to be to that level, you know what
Joe
I'm saying?
beat him to
So-
stardom.
So what I'm saying is like, not to say that he didn't like, not to say he didn't like music, you know what I mean?
That
He
was
love
what he-
music.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, but to that extreme, look at how it kind of messed him up. Or even there was a kid, I don't know if y'all
Well, how
remember.
can we say that messed him up?
No, I mean I get it. Like when
Yeah,
you look
we
at
don't-
like
yeah.
success and monetary stuff. I'm just talking about like there was a kid. He was like a bodybuilder, Little Hercules. I don't know.
Oh,
if
the
y'all-
little Hercules.
yeah,
Yeah, I
the
seen
white
it.
dude.
Yeah, the white dude. Yeah.
Yo, but his dad was mad abusive, like to make like because he had like he couldn't. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a bad thing to be physically in shape, but it's certain aspects. Like it wasn't about his son. You know what I mean? Like
It
it
was
was
about
about him. So I'm not saying that the end result won't lead to a certain type of success, because
Right.
success has different definitions. But what is your child necessarily want? I'm not saying kids know what they want, but I'm talking about like just naturally, like if you see like, okay, because I've always been good at writing.
Right.
That's just natural to me.
Right.
Nobody had to teach me that. But when it comes to math, hell nah.
You
Like,
wasn't
you know what
good
I
at
mean?
it.
Like, that's just not me. Like,
Right.
it's just...
But
it's
as your parent,
Yeah.
you tap into that. Like, all right, well, he's good at writing. I'm gonna try him in other things because the
Right,
kid
right,
doesn't
right.
know.
Exactly,
So you
yeah.
tap into him. Like, man, before this whole Corona thing, baseball, kickball, karate, football, whatever sticks. Right now, as a parent, you just throwing shit against the wall because you don't fucking know. You just throwing shit against the wall. That shit stick. Oh, he's good at football. Okay, cool. Oh shit, he's good at baseball. Oh, that's good. All right, he's all right in soccer. Yeah.
You know what I think?
You're doing soccer
you know
no
what I
more.
think? I
Yeah,
think I think when you push a kid in a certain direction, no matter what it is, like for instance, if you let's say he's in some sport, but he's like you said, you use the ballet example, right? I think when you put that competitive spirit in him to let him know that, he'll be the best ballet motherfucker ever.
Right.
He'll be like, yo, I'm about to spin on my toes like a motherfucker right now.
Nigga.
Like a top, nigga. Like I'm about to
Black
spin.
Swan,
Like,
motherfucker.
I'm about to spin like a Skelly little thing, nigga. Like I'm about to spin. I don't remember Skelly? All right, whatever. So I'm not like, yo, like
This
I
nigga
feel
is
like,
racist
like,
as
like,
shit.
nigga, what the
Drano. This nigga talking to Drano.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you do that, you put that
That fire,
competitive
yeah.
spirit. And my brother always said, he has a quote that he always said, it's like, if you don't care about winning, you're always gonna lose. You have to care about winning.
Right.
He's like, if you don't care about winning, nigga, my brother said that shit to me my whole life. I think he's like, yo, saying we be playing ball, and I'd be like, I don't give a fuck if you win, nigga. I don't care. He's like, nigga, if you don't ever care about winning, you're always gonna lose. Who cares if I'm fucking backing you down? Back me down, nigga. Play ball. Your goal is to win.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I'm gonna bust your ass.
Every time.
So you gonna just take it? Man up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
like a New York thing altogether. I guess that's not even a New York thing. That's just like a man thing.
That's
Like,
like a
nigga,
man
like,
thing.
man the
Yeah.
fuck up, bro.
That's
Like,
it.
stop being a little bitch, nigga. You gonna be crying? Remember in He's the Man, the movie? Y'all remember that movie with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
When he was just like, so
He
you
got
crying?
game.
So I fouled you. So what, nigga? Everybody gonna foul you? Or you just gonna miss all the shots because the nigga fouled you?
Right.
So what, nigga? You back me down. You do what you gotta do. Like
Yeah.
Forday was saying, yo, you gotta do that. Because it's not just that. It's when it comes into other aspects of
Other
life.
aspects,
Because
yeah.
now you got to be like, yo, when you're in the real world, and
When
now
that-
you're
that thing
competing
against
with them
other
white
people,
kids,
them white
who
kids,
already
or
got the
Mexicans.
advantage.
Yeah.
You got to be like, yo, I'm throwing elbows, kid, because I got to win.
Right.
Because you already won. You already got it. You know you're going to make it regardless. Even if
Right.
you lose, you won. I don't. If I don't back you down, I don't get this scholarship. Which means I can't go to this school. I
Yeah.
gotta fucking bust your ass, bro.
gotta
I'm not
take it
saying
from you.
Yeah, and I'm not saying for you to do anything immoral,
Right.
Or to hurt
Or-
somebody
or
purposely,
vindictive.
Or vindictive. I'm saying, yo, you work
You got that mental
you
side
got-
of you that you know.
Exactly.
I got more to lose.
Exactly.
Than you.
I got push.
I have more. Like I have a mom. I have a dad that's backing me. My dad's working 70, 80, 90 hours a week.
Yeah.
My mom is busting her ass cleaning, working for, working for hotels, screaming scrubs and this, that, and the third. I have to get this because I got people that depend on me. The white people, oh, if you don't get the scholarship, well, Bradley, we can just try something new.
Yeah.
No,
we
bruh.
don't have that option.
We don't have that option
We don't
sometimes.
have that option,
That option, you got
unfortunately, we
one
do not.
option, you got to make it count. And you got one opportunity. So don't make it lackluster, just sitting there be like, well, I tried my hardest, but it was just too hard.
You know what I used to think, and this is like crazy, right? I used to have there used to be this thing where they like make you feel bad for like parents, especially black parents, kind of pushing their kids into sports and music and things of that nature. Like, well, that's exactly all they always want to do. Either they go into sports or they want to be a fucking artist. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, the greatest artists are ours, nigga. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course. Of course, like, if you got a kid that can sing, yeah, you better sing like Whitney. I'm going to push you in everything possible for you to be the best that you can be.
Right.
Right. What you think Hannah Montana ain't doing? She don't got to do it. Her father's already Billy Ray Cyrus.
He already had a
She could be-
studio
she-
in her thing. So
Yeah,
she already have all the lessons
She
and all
already
that
got
stuff.
it. Yeah, so of course I'm going to push her to be the best that she can be. I don't give a fuck what you think that she should be. Oh, we need more doctors and lawyers. I get that too. But nah, this is her talent. I'm gonna push her, but it's something that I see that we do. It's like, yeah, we got enough artists, or we got enough. You shouldn't be a rapper or do whatever. No, my nigga, this nigga got bars. Yo, bro, rap your ass off. Let me hear you spit, and I'm gonna be on your ass every day.
Yeah.
Right.
You better spit because you're gonna be around some killers that can spit. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Right.
But
Do it all the way. No whack shit.
But-
and that's
Oh,
hard.
but I give it to parents. They be like, oh, you might be pushing your son or daughter too hard. No, because at the end of the day, my parents didn't do that for me.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that reinforcement. Like,
Yeah.
I got your back.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do whatever it takes for
Exactly.
you to get what you need to succeed. That's
Exactly.
my life.
Exactly.
That's what. And they be
That
like, "Well,
is a
I ain't got no
fact.
dreams. I don't got no anything." But again, of the
That
day,
is a
I didn't
fact.
have that push
Definitely.
behind me. So
That
guess
is a
what?
fact.
I'm gonna bust my ass.
Yeah.
So you can get the dream that you need to deserve, and relinquish this generation curse that's going down the farm. Mama, uncle doing crack, this, that, and the third. No. I'm going to bust my ass so you can have a better future, so you don't have to work these 80 hours or do from 25 to 45 working so you can just eat.
Yeah.
This is what, and some people like, this is what I was put on my on earth to do, to break my generation curse. They're like, oh, well, you pushing your son to be a sports or a rapper, and
Yeah.
I found my purpose in life.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Exactly.
Your purpose is tearing me down?
Facts.
Fuck
That is
you.
a fact. That is a fact. That is a
So
fact.
any parent I see that's pushing their kids and they're not hurting you or being abusive or anything, but they have goals in their life and their child is sharing that same goal with them because that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
If they spend their last cent, oh, I'm going to buy some studio time, or I'm going to go buy a mic, or I'm going to create a home studio for my kid so he can start recording.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a
Especially if the kid
passion.
loves it.
That's
That's
a
a passion.
passion.
A passion
that I
that the
share
kid
with
have,
my
and
kid.
allowing the kids to follow that passion keeps them out of other trouble.
Right.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Because that is an absolute fact.
Yeah.
My parents, they came from Haiti. They didn't really. There's not really an understanding of sports and music. All of these things are almost unrealistic.
Right. No.
Right. It's like.
Be a doctor.
Yeah, be a doctor, lawyer,
doctor.
engineer.
Or,
be
yeah,
a
or
fucking
lawyer.
lawyer.
Yeah,
do some
some other
shit.
shit
Like
that's
do
out there.
something else that's like more realistic. Like these things don't happen to us.
Right.
And so your kid is burning with this passion. Like, yo, I really am good with making these words rhyme. I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
And your parents might have even had that same talent.
They just got squashed.
I'll give y'all an example, right?
Yeah.
My father is a poet, right? I have a song called My Father is a Poet.
Right.
I never knew my father was a poet till I wrote the song My Father is a Poet. My father used to always be in the house in the corner. Like, he'd always be writing stuff, right?
Right.
Fuck is this nigga writing, right? My dad will always be in the corner like, love. You just find mad random pieces of paper on the back of bills. Nigga, love is eternal. What the fuck? My mom would be like, nigga, the fuck, nigga? Like, yo, I don't know, what is this, right? But I never got it. And I was like, yo, luckily than most, my dad was never the type that was always telling me to either go one way or another. He was always like, if you like this, then just try it. You see, you never know where it might go.
Yeah.
Luckily I had that. But he didn't have the wherewithal to know how to push me in that direction. He didn't know, well, let me get out there and start making moves for you.
Right.
He couldn't, but dad didn't even speak English that well. So you can't expect them to fucking go out there and be like, I'm going to go in the room with Russell Simmons. Like, that's just never going to happen
never,
that way. Yeah, but he would always have. So I'm like, well, I had this talent of being able to write rhymes and shit like that. I was like, I'm good at this. All right, great.
Yeah.
And I used to always, I'm like, where do I get this from? And then when I used to, then it clicked when I wrote the song, and then I was speaking to him about it, and then he's like, yeah, I mean, I was a poet. Like, I always wrote, like, and he showed me a notebook, mad notebooks of, like, poems and songs and, like, thoughts. Right. And I'm like, why did you never share this with me? Right. Why did you never say, yo, Irv, like, yo, this is, I do this. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what I do.
Yeah,
and like, you know what I mean?
Because that could have even, like,
because it was almost like, this is not going to him, it was like, this is not going to get you anywhere. Just do this to do this kind of thing.
For them, it was a hobby.
It was a hobby. Exactly.
It was taboo.
Exactly.
It was fucking taboo because you know what? When their parents say, you're not going to make a living with that shit. You can't raise a family with that shit.
Yeah, and you gotta
can't
work.
do that shit.
You gotta work.
So now your parents came along, busting their ass,
Hard.
and now you got free time, and they seen all this shit. But that's one thing as a parent, you gotta watch your kids. If you see little things that they do, it's time not to squash their dreams of what you have. Because I'm not saying that you want to live through your kids, but shit passed down to them.
Yeah.
It does.
No, that's an absolute fact, and that's what I was saying.
Absolutely.
I was always lucky. My parents were never the parents that were like, "Don't do it." They were always like, "You just gotta have something else,
Right.
like do something else." And I was always like, "No, nigga, like I'm a fucking MC. Like I don't care what we talking about. Like all day, every day, coming home from the studio at 16, like sneaking into the house. Where was you at? I don't know. I was at my brother's house. And nigga, you lying. He was just here. Oh, well, fuck it. I was out. And I was like, you was some bitch house. I mean, that was that too. But that was like, that had nothing to do with that. That was earlier. That was yesterday. I went to the studio to record.
You late on that one.
You know what I mean? And it's like when they see the vision, they see at least like you were saying, 4-day, they give you some kind of boost. And I'm like always lucky enough for my parents are always like, I'll give you some kind of, yeah. I'll give. We have any comments, Valerie? Right?
The goddamn monkey in the zoo.
Yeah, I'm like, what's this? What's going on here? Can y'all see me?
Judith says it's okay to have a winning spirit, but your purpose drives you to excellence.
Facts.
Facts.
Yeah.
And the greatest scientists and mathematicians, etc., are ours also.
That's true. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Good. Thank you, Judith, for that comment. And that's a fact. I was just lucky enough to have that. To have that. Yeah, but my parents were just like, I want you to do something else, but like you're stuck on this shit. Like I just couldn't leave it alone.
Right.
It was like, man, I was addicted
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
an itch.
It was like, man, no matter what we do to this nigga, we punish him, we fucking take away everything. He's sneaking out the window. He's meeting flock.
That right there could be because I went similar situation, but they didn't really be like, nah, don't do this. So they just let me rock however I rock.
Yeah.
But of course, they wanted me to do something else.
Yeah.
So whenever I paid too much mind to just that writing or whatever, they be like, all right, nigga, stop. You got to figure this out.
Yeah,
that pushed me to pay even more mind.
Right.
That's right.
Because it was taboo.
Yeah.
It was taboo.
And it's a thing, and it's just like what you were saying earlier. It's like you get it from them. Like that's why I was saying, I'm like, yo, Dad, like, why didn't you never show me this? Like, I knew you did it, but I didn't know that this was like a thing for you.
But if they never have the tools of being successful, it's hard to tell your son who you love that you can't be successful if they never had success for themselves into that department.
That's true.
So you don't want to set your son to failure because you never had success for it.
That's true. Flock, what you
So
about
it's
to say?
kind of
But
hard to be like, I
if
want you to do this,
if
but
it
I
wasn't-
never found success in it.
Because usually it builds up to success or trying to get to success. It starts off as a hobby, something you had a passion for and love for. So I don't think there should have been a reason why that's something that shouldn't have been shared.
But again, if you never had success with it,
But it's still a passion.
it's still a passion. But you got to understand, from a parent point of view, you want your son or daughter to be successful in it.
And
But if
even
they-
more so a reason to be like, let me tell you what I did so that you don't make these mistakes.
Right, but how many people can be like, yeah, I failed at it personally wise. And let me tell you why I failed at it. A failure, you really don't really speak on it that
You
much
really don't,
because
yeah.
it's a failure.
On top of that, I agree with everyone. But on top of that, too, they themselves may have just thought it wasn't anything either.
Right.
They might have just been like, oh, I can write a couple of
I just
poems
do
and
this shit
shit.
for shit.
Yeah, I could just do it. But this really
Yeah,
has
I
nothing
got
to
your
do with
mama on this.
It's not realistic. Yeah, it's not.
I got your mama on
I got
this.
exactly. Outside of that, that's it.
That's
But it's
it.
like it's not realistic. Like this is not something I do for real. But
Right.
for you come into a whole new world. As a kid, and you're introduced into a world of, for instance,
can happen.
music, like you introduced into hip hop. You're like, those same poems.
Right.
I could even use them for hooks. Like I need you to tell me these things, and they're like, but I just did it to do it. Like it's not really anything.
Not something I did. I
Yeah.
just did it because
It was just to pass the time. Like this had nothing to do with reality.
Right.
Reality is I gotta go and bust my fucking ass because y'all niggas need to eat.
Right.
That's reality.
That's reality to me.
That's reality.
Yeah.
The rest of this shit is folklore. Like this shit doesn't happen to
Yeah.
me. I couldn't do this. But again, I was just lucky enough to have that.
Yeah, you have that.
To have
But
that
some
little bit of freedom.
But some
Little bit.
cultures don't have that.
No.
No.
They
Like
don't allow you that
my
at all.
parents are straight African. So that nigga, you gonna become a doctor,
Yeah.
or you gonna become a nurse,
Lawyer.
or you gonna become a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the 3 successful things to Africa: doctor, nurse, or lawyer, or engineer. Yeah, that's 4 things. After that, nigga, you failed.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Growing up, me, I was different. I don't know. I was just that rebel. Like, I don't give a fuck. If I got money in my pocket, you're not gonna tell me I was a failure. My brother, my sister, my brother is an occupational therapist, and my sister's a lawyer. So
Yeah.
me,
Yeah,
I
I'm
was the
serious.
rat pack. They was tired. Like, this thing gonna do what the fuck you want to do. Go fuck off. I don't give a damn what the hell you want to do.
We got 2.
Right, but again, But again, my brother and sister look at me. They're like, nigga, you the most spiritual one. You can do what the fuck you want to do. I'm like, nigga, you know how hard that was. I just didn't give a fuck. I wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live my life.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the youngest.
Oh, you the, okay.
Yeah, that's why niggas was like,
Yeah, me
you're the
too.
baby. They gave up on you.
Me too.
They're like, fuck it. They just gave up.
Me too.
They got too old. It was like, you know what? I got 2 out of 3. I'm batting 66%. Fuck it. I'm
Me
out.
too. Me too. Literally, my family could have been the fucking Jackson 5. All of my brothers play. I have 4 other brothers. They all play instruments. I'm the only one who doesn't, but I like fucking do my shit.
You could have been a
I
Jackson
could have
Five.
been the fucking dog. It could have
Yeah.
literally, but my
Yeah.
dad never saw that as a thing.
No.
He was like, hey man, you guys play the guitar. He plays the bass. He plays the drums. Y'all ain't in a band. I'm like, nigga, that's what we are. We're an entire band.
all.
Like, we're an entire. I don't think he ever. We had a party
never
for him
clicked.
when he turned 90. I think it's the first time he ever saw us all on stage performing for him. He was like, damn, I probably should have did something. Probably should have did something with this. These niggas ain't that bad. I probably should have did something with these niggas. Damn. These niggas is alright. Like,
Yeah.
damn, we fucked up.
But going back to the time that we have now, you get that time now because you're now at the home with your kids. Beforehand, niggas was busting their ass
Yeah,
50,
before
60
it was-
hours a week.
Yeah, it
Now
was-
you at home.
It was
It's
no
like, man, hold
internet.
up.
It was no
none
cell.
of that.
It was no
internet,
computers,
something.
laptops.
So
Yeah,
you
it was
working at
completely
home.
different.
You get home Sunday, ain't no traveling, nothing. You see this nigga doing this. You see this nigga doing that. You're like, wait a minute. I might have something here. So you spending more time with your family. So it's kind of a reset.
What made Joe? I'm sorry to cut you, but what made Joe Jackson look at his kids and go, "Well, he was a musician."
Well,
He
he
was
always about to say
yeah.
it was the opposite.
yeah.
It's almost like the opposite of what Fournette's saying because
Yeah.
he's like, I didn't make it, but they will.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's kind of
yeah.
had that mentality.
Right, yeah.
But the only
And that goes on a lot too.
right.
Yeah.
But it could be like, yo, there's good and bad and everything. So I guess you just got to take it with it. But
Right.
it's kind of like, but. It's like, yo, this is not fun. You guys are living my dream for me. You're gonna make it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, again, not saying that's a bad thing or whatever, but
not-
I don't
yeah.
necessarily. I mean, that's why you see. I mean, Michael. I mean, granted, he probably had it harder because he was the lead singer, but the rest of them, besides Janet too, you know, they didn't.
Well,
they didn't really have that same drive. They didn't. I don't think they continued music the same way.
But they had a
You know what I mean?
childhood. Michael didn't have a childhood.
That's what
As
I'm
soon as
saying.
he
too,
came
yeah.
out, he
Yeah.
was already.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
you
know
know
what?
what I
And I think
Like-
Joe was in the extreme. Shout out to Joe because nigga got magic sperm because to make the 2 of the greatest artists of all time, to make Michael and Janet, that's not no little thing. And Michael and Janet both say if it wasn't for him, we would have never been where we were.
Right.
It was that ass whipping. It was
That-
just like, yo,
yeah.
nigga, there's nothing else.
That's it.
There's
mean,
nothing
this is
else.
what it is.
You better hit that fucking spin.
Pressure molds you.
Spin your
Yeah.
ass off.
better
You ain't
make
hit that
something.
spin, that's your ass.
Right.
And it forced them, and Michael is like, yo, man, it forced me to become, and he's like, yo, I had to be the greatest. I had to be the greatest. It was in him, I'm sure.
Right.
But it was more like, damn, as my
that,
pops.
but that motivation to
Yeah.
get it out there.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing else.
Yeah.
His whole family was doing that.
Yeah.
So as a baby, you seeing that growing up, this and the third, you're like, well, shit, there's nothing else because nobody does anything around here but music.
That's it.
So well, fuck it.
I
I'm
mean,
going
it,
to do
it
music.
turned,
Oh,
it turned
you know.
out. It turned
Right.
out. Michael Jackson turned out to be the way he was, but I don't think that's always the case. Like, you may not necessarily. I mean, the same way
What-
that music is our passion,
Right.
That may not have. Let's say in an alternate world, like that wasn't his passion. He wanted to be an engineer. He's like, can I just please do some math, Dad? And it's like, no, you get on that stage, and it's like, you know what I mean? I just want
Yeah.
to be an engineer. I want to be an orthopedist. Like, you know what I
He
mean?
would have ran away. I think Mike.
I'll put it like this.
over
I feel like
this
this.
doing, man.
Picture Mike wanted to do
I know, but
Can I
do
do some math?
Can I do some math? Shut the fuck up.
Do that spin, motherfucker.
He's in his room doing calculus. It's like
Yeah,
burning
great
his
as mine.
notebook.
That's hilarious.
But at the end of the day, I always go back to what is your passion? Your passion, nobody can kill your passion but yourself.
That's a fact.
Nobody can take away your passion but yourself. I mean, your parents can beat you. They can take away everything you want to. But as long as you got that passion, you're always going to go back to it, and you're going to thrive at it. That's why some people say when they find a passion of a career, they're like, I'm not going to work. I'm going to go do my passion. They love doing that shit because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So you gonna pay? Hold on, like any football player that their passion is football. You gonna pay me to go do what I
would do
like,
for free.
what I
What
do
I
for
would
free?
already love to
I
do,
do
yeah.
that shit. Some of us is not that fortunate we can actually go do that shit. Some of us like, this ain't my passion.
So now that you said that,
right,
for
but I gotta feed these kids.
I got.
So that's my job.
Do you think those that went to college and got these careers and are doing very well enjoy doing very well?
No. If I had to put a number, I'd say 65% of the people that got these jobs
Degrees and jobs and
hate their
that shit.
job.
Yep,
I
that's what I would,
probably
yeah.
even put it at 80.
I put it higher, but
I was yeah. That would be my number there too.
But they like the stuff that they can afford.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Definitely.
But for as a passion, no.
Because your passion, I'm sorry to cut you off
Yeah,
there, but your passion does take a background to financial stability.
Yeah,
And that's a
absolutely.
fact.
Right, it is.
Because, like,
Well,
you-
in this
you'll
world
find
we
something-
live at,
Yeah.
you have to.
You have to, because it's like, yo, if I get a job tomorrow, they're like, yo, you gotta. If they was like, yo, you can go to the studio and make the same money I'm making now, I'd be like, I'll take less to do what I love doing. That's fine. If they're like, yo, I'm gonna offer you the same amount of, I'm gonna offer you more money to do what you're doing, I'm gonna fucking be like, hell yeah, nigga, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, especially if it provides. If it provides a very great
Peter, come on the
and,
other side.
and stable, yeah, you put your
other
fucking back in the back of that. Get your back out of the damn computer. Nigga. Oh shit!
They got this dude. They got that gorilla cage. This nigga just
Can y'all see me there? Hello, Detroit.
goddamn true. Hello, goodbye. And I didn't say good.
That's what y'all was saying the first time I catch it.
Just put your face in it, nigga.
Oh man.
Pause.
They got a text.
Hey yo.
What was the question? Is there a comment?
No, Judith was saying if you do not. Shout out to Judith.
Yeah. She's on it.
Yeah.
Is that I don't know if that's a girl.
No, she's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Former boss, as a matter of fact.
Wait. Oh, if you do not have access to Hollywood or music, really, you cannot guide anyone into the world. As a community, we are limited because we do not understand that music is beyond the person who sings. Some people write music, produce the music. The lawyers who are involved,
True.
mix engineer, etc. If you do not know, you do not know.
That is a fact. That is a fact. That is a true point. That is a very true point.
Yep, absolutely.
Good comment, Judith, on that.
And she also said,
Summarize that for
she
me.
said Michael was damaged. She said, I'd rather have a happy, mediocre kid than a damaged rich kid.
Okay. What she's basically saying is there's multiple facets to music. It's
Yes.
not just, she's just using music, I guess, as the example.
Right.
point, yeah.
But she's just saying there's multiple facets of music. Like, in other words, we're not necessarily, because our parents didn't come from these aspects of music. All we see is just the singer.
Right.
But there's the producer. There's the writer.
Yeah, there's
I
every
never
aspect,
knew
yeah.
about any of these things, to be honest, growing up. I didn't think about, I'm an MC. I'm like, you wrote your rhymes.
Right.
That was the end of that,
No,
nigga. I
right.
don't give a fuck.
I mean,
I will always love you, nigga.
It wasn't highlighted to what there's different paths into the music industry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there wasn't someone that explained to you like, yo, maybe if you're not that great at singing, but yo, you can produce the music.
Make a beat,
Right.
yeah.
You know how to
Yeah.
play the piano, you know how to play the drums. Like
Right.
maybe you can create the music for these guys and probably even make more money than them.
Right, and
You
live
know,
a regular lifestyle.
and live a regular life.
Right.
No one is like, and that's a very good point. And to the Michael point, Michael being damaged, you rather have a regular kid than a kid that's damaged. Youth, I'll say something.
I don't think we would have got him all them hits.
No, I'll be honest with you,
I don't
Judith,
think
and
we
I'm not
would've
gonna
had
lie to
the
you.
Michael Jackson that we know.
If I know I'm gonna create one of the greatest artists of all time, that's not only gonna influence this generation, but for the
fire-
next 20,
yeah.
I'm sorry, that nigga's getting his ass whipped.
But at the end of the
sorry.
day, that's not our choice to make. Our choice is to guide the kids as much as they want to. Now, if it got there hard or soft, that's still not a reflection of us. That's still a reflection of the person.
Do we think that Mike, at a certain point, it wasn't? I mean, at a certain point, it just wasn't no longer Joe. Like he was pushing himself.
I
He was
told
just
you
like-
that blood on the dance floor was goddamn him. If you don't believe that was him, and it's I told you about that shit. That shit was a horrible track. I keep telling y'all, from the producer all the way to the nigga that signed off on that shit, was fucking
No,
terrible.
he definitely got into his element after a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you have, if especially you, that's your foundation. That voice is gonna be in your head regardless. So that's his version of like, oh, you got to be a doctor. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like, yo, I gotta be like, what else?
But he had a passion for the music. Once he got into signing where he was only making his own beats, he had creative control everything. Joe was gone. Joe was completely gone.
Yeah.
Joe was written out.
X that nigga out of
X
everything.
out. So from that time on, it was all Michael. Michael wanted to be the best. Y'all forget, Michael hated Prince. He wanted to be better than Prince. So that was another person that in his head was like, I got to be better to beat that person.
I got a question.
So
Ladies
when-
and gentlemen, I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Good question. Shit, this might be the last question of the night. I'm
All right,
already
that's cool.
rounding off 2.5.
Right.
Do we think in order for do you guys think in order or for you to be considered the greatest that you have to have an arch nemesis? You have to have someone you're going against. In other words, if you're a J, you gotta have a Nas.
Absolutely.
If you're
Yeah.
a Big, you gotta have a Pop.
Absolutely.
If you're a
Yes.
Jordan, you gotta have the whole NBA.
Yes.
If you, you know what I mean? Like if you're like you gotta have someone that if you're 50, you gotta have a Ja.
Yeah.
You gotta have someone where you're like, yo, I hate this nigga, and you, not because because they all know these motherfuckers are good.
Right.
It's like, yo, Jay knows Nas is like, yo, he chasing Nas in a sense, and I love you, Jay.
Releases
But
a
like,
record
You
every
wouldn't
day.
like how great could you really be without that competition?
Without competition. Because competition makes
what
you
builds-
better.
yeah.
is there a gauge? That means, do you think that competition is the gauge to let you know how good you are? In other words, without someone compete, like in other words, Mike is great, but the way that we know Mike is great is because we know like Prince is great. It's like every time Prince goes here, it's like we're waiting for Mike. You gotta go here. Or if you're fucking Nas, if you're Jay, it's like your Nas is here, nigga. You gotta go here. And
Well,
if you're Nas, Jay's here. You gotta go here. Do you guys think
it
that's
depends
something?
on your competition. If Michael was your competition, but you're damn Muggsy Bogues, you know you're never going to get there.
Yeah. What if you're like Reggie Miller?
Yeah, like a Reggie Miller. You still want to be that high without your gauge. You never got there. Could you gauge it on that? You still have to have a self-gauge to how well you want to be in life. Physical, mental, or spiritual. You got to have a gauge.
But
Preach.
so we all agree that we all need gotta
Yes.
have
You gotta
an
have a
arch.
gauge.
You gotta have the
Absolutely.
Professor
Yes.
X and the motherfucking
What
Magneto.
fun?
Yes.
What fun is it without having somebody to compete against?
Because you're never going to get better than what you are.
True that. True
There's
that.
always the question, can I
It
get
ain't
better?
no fun. Even like
I was about to say
doing music.
Yeah.
We rap, we're not beefing with each other.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I want my verse to be better than yours.
That's
Yep.
a fact. Yeah, we be going at it,
I
son.
mean, but yo,
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Yeah, we be like, yo, it's like in the studio, son.
Yeah.
We're all are like, yo,
Yeah.
That's
we
my
won't
man,
can't
but
let
I'm
you-
gonna
yeah.
body
That's
this
my
nigga.
man.
Body this nigga on this shit.
Nigga, I'm writing the hardest verse ever.
I'm
Then I
not
spit it and I'm
dissing
like,
you,
damn,
but I'm
this nigga
dissing
Flock got me. son. you know what's crazy? I'm always the type that's like, yo, I'm always the type that's like, I'm gonna give it up too. Like I'm like, yo,
Well, we
this nigga
talked about
Flock
this.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked about
bodied
this.
this
Yeah, we
shit.
talked
we
Like,
talked
I'm
about
like, yo,
this.
Flock, you fucking bodied this shit. I love your motherfucking verse. I don't like when this competition where it's to the point where you can't give it up to a nigga. Like, yo, nah, you got it, bro.
You gotta, yeah. You gotta give
bro.
it up.
Well,
Yeah,
that's-
you
but
got
give it up when-
Also, that goes to
goes hand in hand.
it goes hand in hand.
Sportsmanship.
But sportsmanship. But again, the next time,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get
Absolutely.
this nigga.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just the competition and what it had. That goes back to going through with PB. If they're like, oh, you don't have to work that hard, or just give them a trophy. Everybody's winners. Fuck no.
No.
Not the hell out of my goddamn house.
Yeah.
There's a loser somewhere.
Yeah.
And you finna get
That's
this.
one of the things I hated hearing when I was younger too. Like
Man,
everybody's a
y'all-
winner. Like
y'all-
nah,
y'all
nigga.
laughing at me now. I'm
I
dead
busted
serious.
my ass. No.
That's why it's funny. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's
Especially when
serious.
you work for it. Especially when you work
What?
for
When
it.
you bust your ass and they tell you everybody won? No, fuck out of here.
Yeah, I didn't do
Oh,
that.
y'all
I
know.
won. Yeah, all y'all-
I won, nigga. I won.
Right.
I won.
I made that
And-
jump.
And I hope the internet don't be like, yeah, this nigga 4 is so hard on his kids. I mean, yes, I'm hard on my kids, and I give them 100% support. But I just want to know if you give me 100%,
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Yo,
That's it.
I want to
I'm
say
good on that.
No, facts. But I just want to say too, like, it depends what we're talking about too. But like team sports, everybody has a role to play too. Like,
Right.
again, everybody's not supposed to be Jordan. Like,
Yeah, everybody's not supposed to be the star.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
you gotta have
Pippen.
that.
That's
Exactly.
important. That's important. That's
Or you
definitely
need,
important.
or you
You have to
need,
understand
or you
your
need
role.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Or you need somebody, you know what I mean? They're gonna make that shot.
Like
To
Shaq, I'm not
understand
saying
their
Shaq
role.
is not nice, but do y'all feel like Shaq technically is not really a great basketball player, but because of his height, it's kind of like, yo, I mean, come on, like it's just almost like automatic.
Well,
like
I mean,
it's like, you know what I mean?
No,
Almost
'cause-
automatic.
no, because
Like it's like
because
dribbling, shooting, nothing.
No,
like
because-
it's like, yo, you just stay in the post. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're coming.
no,
listen,
like-
but again, it's people that have been taller than Shaq fucking suck. So just because he's that tall doesn't mean just Shaq just had the height, speed, body. Like he was just a fucking wrecking ball.
Yeah,
but he had that mentality from he got from his stepfather. Like if you gonna do this shit,
Yeah.
do it right.
Yeah.
And if they
And
bodied you,
Shaq-
then 100%.
Shaq might have not have been the greatest shooter or whatever,
Hell
but
no.
he started the transition of these big niggas shooting.
Oh man, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like,
All the big niggas like, nigga, I'm not free throwing like that. I got
Yeah,
work.
I
Now
work
big
on
niggas, you
that.
got big niggas shooting threes out of nowhere.
But again, but
Why are you not at the key?
Cause Shaq down there, nigga.
I ain't fucking with that big nigga over there.
But what I'm saying, like, if a whole league has a rule against you,
Yeah,
good or bad, nigga, you that shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't care nobody
What they say, if niggas ain't hating on you, you not
You
doing
ain't
something
right. Yeah.
If they ain't hating and you ain't doing
You
it
need
right.
and you need the competition in everything you do.
Everything.
You gotta have it, and that's true. It does definitely.
Now,
definitely.
Iron
What do you
sharp
think?
as
What do you
iron.
think? What do you think would be, I guess, the biggest boost?
In other words, it's the ice machine.
Is
Oh,
it? Okay.
that's
You sure?
huge.
Yeah, it's just dropping ice.
Cause
That's a huge ice.
Cause,
Yeah, it's a lot of
you said like, cause
off my ice machine.
That nigga be mid-stroke. What the fuck was that? I was like, some shit. Okay.
oh, okay. Is that what you kids call it?
You heard that shit? It's ice
All right,
machine.
so
Butt naked,
Goddamn ice machine.
so friendly competition or unfriendly competition?
Doesn't matter.
I mean,
Yeah,
it absolutely does.
It does.
Oh,
It
man.
does.
Iron sharp as iron.
No, it does. Friendly competition means you might sometimes be a little.
You
soft.
might be and
Yeah,
losing like
you'd be like,
that's
yeah,
my
that's
man.
my man.
That's my man.
But
He
when
did
it's
say-
like unfriendly, you're like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate this motherfucker.
Off with your head. I'm not
gonna-
taking no
off
for an
with
answer.
your
Yeah,
head.
like-
But
It's
sometimes that
war.
makes you a little bit better.
No, that's what he's saying.
No,
that's what
Oh,
exactly
okay,
what he's
okay,
saying. Flock
okay.
is saying, should it be friendly competition where everybody's kind of, you're competing, but you're not really. But then if you're like, yo, I don't like this guy,
But you can
it's
grow.
like it makes it does.
You
but then
can grow back and forth.
I think what you get is you get fucking ether when it's unfriendly competition.
Oh yeah.
You get that motherfucker like Nas was like people would consider him over. Then that nigga came with ether. It was like this nigga came out of the grave, my nigga. Like yo,
that's
I-
the shit that make you say fuck that nigga in front of the track.
Yo, hell yeah, like yo.
when you start a track like fuck
Yeah,
you
it
mad
was
at that
like,
nigga.
yo, I don't like you this much. Like, I am gonna do everything possible.
yeah.
And there's always a measure of respect.
Yeah, it's always a measure of
There's
respect.
always a
They-
measure of
anybody
respect
wanna
because you
admit
know
to
the
it.
nigga's good.
Yeah.
You're like, I know you good,
Yeah,
son.
so I'm finna come
I
harder.
know you good, but I gotta go even
It's a-
harder.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpen iron, man. You gotta, and that's why you gotta have that competition. You gotta have it. That beef between DMX and Jay-Z has lived on forever.
They still battling. They
Oh
still they still want to battle.
Because Jay-Z is just like, DMX is like, no one's, I'm
he's
I'm
like,
killing
yeah,
niggas.
yeah.
There's no one better.
No one better than me.
Hov is like, yo, I'm Hov. He's like, I don't give a fuck. You grab that mic, it's over, son. And it's like, yo, you got to think about it. That's why I love battle rap the way that I love battle rap. Like, who's the best? Who's the better MC? Who's going to come off? Who's going for the gusto?
Yeah.
Who's going for blood? It's war. It's not fucking time to be friendly, son. Say that shit all the time. Shout out to Kafu, son. My brother's a fucking animal with that shit. That nigga don't give a fuck about nobody, son. I'm his brother, son. That nigga don't give a fuck, son. That nigga's like, yo, bro, I love you and shit, bro, but we're fucking battling. It's ball is ball.
Listen,
We no smiling and shit. There's
that's
none
what-
of that. I'm gonna be cool with you later. Shit, nigga, we playing ball. We be so tired, son. And this nigga be like, one more. Especially if the nigga win. Let Neff win or let me win.
Yeah.
2 straight. That nigga be like, yo, we be like, all right, yo. All right, man, I'm ready to go. All right, y'all, we good, nigga. You good? He be like, one more, nigga. And I be like, nah, son. He's like, you pussy, nigga, come on. I'm like, you just call me a pussy, dog. All right, let's go, nigga.
Yo, but that's what they do. They know what buttons to press.
yeah.
Like, nah, you can't let that.
My brother knows exactly what to get under your skin every time,
Every single
son.
time.
It just makes you so angry, though, son.
You ever drive to the hole? You stand there and shoot all day long.
It's like,
Like,
damn,
man.
son. Like, yo, especially if you get one up, and that's the beauty. And like you guys were
That's the
saying,
beauty of
that's the beauty of
competition.
life, and you got to teach your children that, guys. Like 4Day was saying, it's not saying you got to be mean to your children or fucking do whatever or whoever it is, whatever your goal is. Period. Whatever it is, I suggest you find somebody to beef with. Find somebody. You at work? Yo, I'm serious. No, I'm dead ass. Yo, you
You
at
clocking
work?
in right now?
You a nurse? You find a nurse who people love more. You better fucking go out there and start smiling at the motherfuckers. You a doctor? You better do more. You whatever it is. If you an MC, you better find someone
It's
to.
that important to you.
You,
Don't
yeah,
just-
you gotta do it. Nah, man, you gotta do it. You gotta think it.
clocking into work.
Playing basketball and doing heart surgery. What the fuck is this nigga?
Yeah, I'm the best.
Better than
I'm the
all of
fucking
y'all.
best.
I'm the new Chris Paul.
All y'all niggas think I done did heart surgery on this nigga and what? Nigga, change a nigga pancreas tonight, nigga. Laid up a nigga pancreas. This nigga whole colon, nigga. This done changed a nigga colon tonight, nigga. What you did, nigga? You didn't do shit.
I sewed up my headband in his.
Nigga, every time nigga take a breath, he got a whistle stuck in the nigga. Nigga, I made you better. Bionic man.
Yo, that's a fact. Do we? But I'm gonna ask y'all a real question. Last question of the night. Do we all? Everybody in this is an individual question. Do we all feel that we are that competitive?
I know I am.
In other words, I mean, in the sense of saying like, it's all or nothing. Or do we mind saying, you know what? I don't really even. If I lose, I put my 100% in. You won. You won.
It's certain
Or
things.
it depends-
It depends on the
what it-
situation. If it's certain, like somebody called me out by like my name, like my first name, it's ugly.
War.
It's ugly. I don't care what it is. Stitching, whatever the fuck it is. If I don't know what the fuck it is, you still call me my first name, I'm gonna try it out. Cause I damn sure I'm not. I'm gonna try it out. Now if it's something that you know what I mean, I'm playing around with this, that, and the third. You got it, nigga. You be all right. But you call me my first name, woo,
War.
woo, back of that hairstyle, that little hair I got back there.
War.
Nigga, you better take this.
That'll definitely put the battery in your
War.
back. when
Yeah.
So what you gonna do and
Yeah.
put your government out there?
Man, you want to round me up. I
Same
feel
for you,
bad.
Flock. If you, it's all or nothing.
For the most likely, yeah. But I mean, like you said, it depends on what it is. Depends on who it is and what it is.
What about you, Nat?
For me, it is. I'm just not like I'm more silent with it. Like I'll internalize it, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to.
sneaky nigga.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, like it's war, but I don't really like announce it. Like I'm not like, yo, I'm about to show you. You know what I mean? Like I'm more, but like internally, like I'm like, I'm on fire. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm gonna prove I'm the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, it's always war. I don't give a fuck what it is. It's war.
Now that
kid.
shit, gladiator.
It's war. It's
Yo, we should call
always
this
war.
episode "All or Nothing."
Yeah, it is. It's all or nothing. It's
All or
war,
nothing.
kid.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, that itch to not. You know, I do know what's crazy is that I don't even know at this point in my life if I'm like trying to be number one. I have this ideal in my head. Like I'm always just like I always have this thing, even like when I'm an MC, right? So I'm always like, I don't want to be number one I don't want niggas to be like, oh, you the best. I want niggas to be like, you the nicest. Like, you nice. Like, I want niggas to be like, yo, this nigga's coming. This nigga's nice, kid. This nigga's fucking dope. I don't want niggas to be, yo, son, coming into it and like, I have that passion. Like, if I'm like rapping with niggas, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna spit the hardest verse. But if another nigga spit a nice verse, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that shit was nice. But I want niggas to be like, yo, this nigga's the nicest nigga. Like, he's nice. Like, almost like you would consider it like Fab.
I was about to say
Like
that.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous is nice.
He's nice,
no
yeah.
matter what he does.
Yeah.
He's nice. But Jadakiss is like, I gotta be the best. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, Fab is nice. No matter what he does, it's like a streamlined thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, he's nice. Every song
That
is nice.
consistency, yeah.
The consistency. Every song
Because when you're
is
the greatest,
nice.
you also got to keep that level.
Exactly.
keep that,
And it's
yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
and the nicest nigga can always come and sneak and take that from you.
Yeah.
Easy, because you're never going to expect it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this nigga just came out of nowhere and just kind of like snuck me with that shit. And that's why I always love Fab, because I'm like, yo, this nigga, people be sleeping on him sometimes.
always,
and then you get on a verse with that nigga, and then he spits the nicest verse on you. The best flow.
Yeah.
You spit the hardest verse, but he got the best flow on it. So everybody's repeating his shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the shit that I love the
Whatever
most.
the formula he puts together to serenade you into memorizing his verse and
his
certain
word
lines
was
and
nice.
that flow in it.
Or
Like,
I would say even being the most impactful, you know what I mean? It's like certain people when they speak, you listen. Like it's like
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like the Pacs and even the Nipseys, you know what I mean? When you hear them, it's like, yo, not saying I'm gonna bar you to death, but you're gonna pay attention to what he's saying, you know what I mean?
100%. Ladies and gentlemen,
Closing
Sonic Gems podcast. You already know what it is.
go read the
The
last comment.
fellas and all. We gotta let motherfucking we gotta let Flock say his intro because he wasn't here.
Who is Beyonce's nemesis? That's a good one.
Shit.
Ooh.
No.
That's another podcast.
God damn.
That's another
Two
podcast.
because
So
Damn, that's a
good
good ass
one.
question.
Who
Thank
is
you,
Beyonce's
Judith, for that
nemesis?
one. Who's Beyonce's
Phenomenal
nemesis?
questions, Judith.
Nobody wants it with Beyonce. When Beyonce come into a motherfucking place, all
That's it.
niggas hear is
It's probably herself.
that's all niggas hear. That's all niggas hear. Sonic Gems podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Nigga. What? Yes. Cut him and spit him up. Miller tight.